This is day two of the 2026 EGFH Valorant Nationals down here in the great state of Texas, San Antonio. That's where it's going to be happening. And honestly, it's quite a nice day to be hosting a LAN. Pretty cloudy outside, so it's not too hot, but it's definitely going to be heating up later on today, thanks in no small part to the Valorant matches that'll be taking place here in the Boeing Center. My name is Anton. I'm joined here by the wonderful Mob, and we're here to crown the 2026 Valorant champions in just two swift best of threes.
Yeah, and Anthony, great to be here. And I remember seeing WP Davidson. They were favorites last year and were able to get themselves into a decent spot into the championship match. So great to see them back here in San Antonio, trying to once again have a wonderful place and a great fight throughout. But another wonderful day, and probably a little bit hotter in San Antonio. It's about 80 degrees where I'm at in Chicago, but still, the game's heated up on the inside of that nicely air conditioned venue that they're inside of.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm a little bit jealous having the air conditioning, but I know like these teams are gonna need it because there's a lot of people over there in the venue. I can already imagine how heated it is, metaphorically and literally. But for what we got for Valorant specifically, we actually have Davidson, WP Davidson High School going up against Da Vinci Schools as well for our first match of the day. Renegade Wolves versus Davidson Wingmen. That's going to be quite exciting, I think, because these two teams, I think, are actually the closest matched in terms of the individual skills on the roster. So I'm curious to see how far this game is going to go. Whoever wins this is going to rematch their former opponents from yesterday, HSL or HSC Royals, excuse me. Those guys, the yesterday games, I gotta admit, there might have been a little bit of a late start because of some tech issues, because that's just how lands go. It's just gonna happen. Technology is a fickle thing. But when the games did get started, HSC Royals really did run away with it. Just 13-4, 13-5, 13-3, 13-8. They didn't drop a single map. So both these teams have had a taste of what it feels like to lose against HSC. So they're playing this game here in order to have a chance to rematch them to potentially take them over the finish line in the grand finals. But we're going to have to see later on where that goes, because right now they have to actually get there and they have to get past each other in order to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to be no small task for either of these teams. Both these guys had a walloping, as you said, going up against HSE, and
Mhm.
now just going against each other. They're going to have to figure out what even though there wasn't much that worked against those Royals, they'll have to see what does work and just continue to get on their game plans and make sure that they know that they're still good at this game because they got to the national championships for a reason. And
Mhm.
we see your maps coming up right there. We're gonna have Pearl, Ascent, and Lotus. Great map picks by both of these teams. These are some pretty awesome maps that we got coming up.
Yeah, I think no surprises here for most of them. I mean, Ascent is definitely one of the staples that we've always had in Valorant. It's back in the map pool, so teams are going to be picking it. We had two Ascents yesterday for both of HSE's games, so both of these teams have played it before already at this LAN, and they're going to be going back to it as the second map in the pool. But Pearl is new for us, well, for this event, for now. So I'm curious to see what these teams are going to have to be bringing out here in terms of rosters. We already see a couple, I think, some interesting hovers on the side of Davidson and Renegades with the Vice as well. There's going to be an Astra Harbor on the other side of things. So Erebus, I really want to see what he has to bring out with this Harbor. I know Harbor is like pretty pretty known to be good on this map. He was meta way back in the day, even before all of his reworks. You could call it a buff. I think it objectively is a buff. I think his ultimate's just better now. His high tide's better. The fact that he has a stun and a blind is just better. So very very strong agent. I'm really excited to see what Davidson are going to be doing with this specific comp. But yeah, great things on both sides, and we're gonna get right into it with Pearl as our first map of the day. Renegade Wolves versus Davidson Wingmen to kick it off.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a great match here. And I mean, you were saying earlier, a lot of these folks are opting for the harbor nowadays on Pearl. I guess it's more of a throwback than it is a new idea. So we'll have to see what Davidson does as far as this double smoke comp that they're going to be running. And so it's going to be a lot of information that the Wolves are not going to be seeing during these executes. So it'll be interesting to see how Davidson takes advantage of the information that they're not going to be giving the Wolves.
starting off quite standard here. And the defense is spread across the map pretty much everywhere. It already looks like the attack goes for some sort of mid B split. Three players being sent into this mid position. There goes a smoke
Right here.
immediately, right in front of the clove on the defense.
Where are you?
Over here. These guys on B need to be careful.
Yeah, we got 300 down street. We do not have much to care about these folks on the site. Shots are fired. A lot of shots getting fired. He got real low. Those scoop back. Ibris able to get the handle and bombs down, and I'd be 3 retake as the Wolves are having a little bit of trouble getting onto the site. Great stand from Heaven. That's not good get. They don't play violence. And James,
Last player standing.
another pick. Ibris down and backside, and that'll do it. A great retake from Vinci. And they got themselves on the board here early, just barely able to pull it out. As both those guys were literally one shot. I can't even see Hockey's health over there.
I think he's literally. I didn't get to check at the end. I clicked on it and then the round switch. I think it's literally 1 HP. I think you're completely right. Single digit no matter what. Renegade Wolves is closing it out with 2 clean taps there. And speaking of 2, it is just 2 members on the Wolves that have been doing everything so far. It's Hakazi and Doggo, the last 2 players alive that got every single frag for their team on that defense. Davidson tried to work their way in. I think the plan there was actually good. That mid B split is so powerful when it comes to what you want to do on Pearl. Always pressure that mid. And they managed to get on the site. The shots is way too good from the Fade and the KO. They're going to look to do something similar again. But Smoke is going to go towards the link this time. He's going to punish Knight for perhaps sticking around a little bit too long. Does get dinked up. But all that matters is that Knight stays alive.
They can get that gun up, and it really looks like Davidson wants to go connector. They'll be denied and now have to shift their ways over to Art, see if they can make a beautiful
There.
painting over here as they try to attempt to execute this A site. But Knight always there on top of it. It's spotted. Flashes out. Will get
Spike planted.
And retake begins. Looks like Doggo will go down, so Vinci will be without one of their strongest. But Knight is trying to pick up the slack. Down Squeeball. Trying to go get Ibris over in mid. He's gonna continue chasing them. I can see on site. Looking to fight just about everybody here. Looking that outlaw. Look at the spam. But Ultra doesn't check on the top bomb. They weren't ready. And I see once again getting 3. Oh, spam! Oh my goodness. I can see continuing to be dangerous for WP Davidson and the Vinci Schools collecting their ecos, getting the round done, and now Huckabee on 7-0.
Yeah, this name is definitely one of the ones that I want to be looking out for the side of Da Vinci because, yeah, even yesterday, even though they did get kind of owned, I don't think we can sugarcoat that. HSC were absolutely dominating every single team, but Hakazi was one of the players that were consistently trying their best. I mean, they're all trying their hardest, but this guy was finding success.
Be right back.
At the top of the score, both times he lost. Not really too surprised that he's already doing the same thing. Nice for Davidson, though. Already taking him at the start of the round.
Hitting the brakes.
This one's going to be a little from the future. Already on that site. Sukal take a couple of shots as well, but Starry can't quite manage to finish the kill, but just to wield the site control.
Yeah, nothing's important there. Gonna be able to get that bomb planted. Gonna opt for we'll be able to put themselves in a great position as now the rest of Da Vinci is trying to flood out the street. Flashes up and he's able to even get anybody. And now the
Last
board
player standing.
floods through, but they're not gonna be able to get out of that smoke. Round 1 for WP Davidson, a much needed one on that bonus.
Nicely done, especially taking out Hakazi at the start of the round. Maybe getting a little bit too overzealous there. Trying to take that long fight up B long from the high ground inside the site. That was another chance. Still a gun, still a buy for Renegade Wolves. The only person without a full investment is probably going to be Doggo. Physics is going to opt for the Bucky, even though there is a possibility that he could end up investing into a full rifle. Not entirely sure why he's doing this, and still not buying up for Doggo even. So they're okay. Fair play. There's 3 rifles, a shotgun, and a sheriff in the hands of the KO.
Found one.
We'll see if it works though. Fast into A site. 3 different members from the side of Davidson. Spike is not committed though. This is a big fake. It's a lot of util being expended, and most of Renegades is actually taking the bait.
Yeah, and you see the rotate starting to come over a little bit. School is hanging out. Theo holding down that B side, looking straight, and it looks like he's gonna run into James. He's caught him a time and caught jumping, and now Davidson is gonna have that free sight. As rotates are finally on their way for Renegades. It's gonna be a free
Not
plant.
ready yet.
Davidson.
Spike planted. Drop in a smoke.
Swing down towards long. Something to be done here is a nightmare coming out from the fade on the defense. Nightfall hits
Into the deep.
only one. Not entirely sure. There's a hell of a reckoning from the harbor on the other end of things. That's a beautiful
One
piece of
enemy
utility,
remaining.
hitting absolutely everyone on the
Don't
side
sit.
of the Wolves. But Akazi's still alive. Can't count this guy out just yet. Up in heaven.
Not yet. So he's gonna have a meeting over here with the harbor. Empress fire a few shots. None of them landing. I'll swing him through. Adachi just trying to get out of heaven right there. There'll be no time to defuse that bomb. Will successfully save the gun, but at the cost of another round going the way of WP Davidson.
I got a bit close there. The only reason I say that is because the person last alive, Hakazi, on for that 1v3 clutch. But this time not to be. Maintaining the weapon over to the next round, and because of their awkward little buy in the previous, they have more money than I think they should have after losing that round. Doggo, because he didn't buy up a weapon, is able to invest into a rifle. Clove as well. We have okay. On my client, it's bugged. It says Clove. I don't know why, but his name is Knight. They are able to buy up a bulldog as well, so it's not the worst buy in the world. It's kind of similar to last round, honestly. They have 3 rifles,
actually.
no Bucky this time, but only a bulldog and a sheriff still on Sukal instead of Doggo. So it's the
Yeah.
same. The strength is
One by
Oh, now Boy Davidson, they're gonna get onto the site handily. Knight goes down, and so does Doggo. Now Starry can continue. Rushing gets the
enemy
third,
remaining.
gets the second rather. Now, leaves the lone school with just the sheriff to his name. I think he's all right with losing that round for a little bit of extra money for trusts.
The Wolves even, after the pistol round and a follow-up, there hasn't really been too much that they've been showing for themselves. It's really just Hakazi so far. First 2 rounds, Hakazi and Doggo were doing a lot. But after that, Knight, Sukal have been chiming in just a couple times, but it's been not enough because Davidson, their whole team is firing on all cylinders right now. The ult economy looking good for, it's kind of both sides. Bojangles and Killa both are 1 off of their respective
Don't
ultimates. Sukal and Physics, same to say for them. So far, it's been no ult other than on Hakazi. It's been the Nightfall because they've been so successful in terms of getting frags and also dying a couple times.
right there.
Build up these orbs, but already in this round, no one picking up an orb just yet. There's a lot of damage done through mid.
Enemy
Players from the
punch.
defense taking down real low, and Killa
My
as
ult's
well.
ready.
He takes the head off of Clove right off the bat. Hakazi with the trade. Killa's still here lurking. Wants another frag, and
Look at that.
off the job that she already started earlier in the round. Physics taken down low. Hakazi also the same. An advantage for the attack temporarily.
They were living up to the name, holding down mid with some aggression as well, as now it looks like Davidson's gonna opt to run down street. They'll run into what eventually can only call a stack. It's
Last
most of their
player
players.
standing.
And Doggo unable to catch the flank, and now just Hakazi all by their lonesome.
30
And
seconds
it's
left.
2v1 situation. I'm still not down, so they have a chance. James will
He
grab the
grabbed the
bomb and
spike.
TP out.
I mean, there's time. There's plenty of time actually for them to get to site. Both of them could manage to get over here. They don't know exactly where Hakazi is, so they're going to be a little bit careful as they try and make their way into A.
10
Still
seconds left.
Very far.
Spike
On
planted.
for the 1-on-2 though. If there's anyone to do it, it would definitely be this Fade.
Really, it's going to be an uphill battle. Davidson, Brooklyn were able to come through mid, so they're kind of aware where Hudson might be with those bullets. Now are fully aware. They just be just shooting off of each other as they were the stars of the bomb. Now Hudson trying to face him down. Spam James for a little bit, catch his shoulder, but he's
One
stuck
enemy
up.
remaining.
Swings, gets one, but doesn't know what Killa is, and Killa's just gonna be able to safely rotate off. There were too many stars on that bomb, and now obviously will go down to that bomb as well. Another round won by WP Davidson, and they've been on a roll since this bonus round.
Yeah, they have not lost a single round ever since the fact that they had weapons. Killa now finding herself at the top of the scoreboard with that wall ready. Bojangle is just the same with their Nightfall on the other end. But it's 2 for 2 in terms of ults right now. Doggo and Knights are also one away again. So the ult economy, at least the cycling, seems to be better for the Wolves. Temporarily. But who knows how long that's going to last, because they still have not really been able to win a round, other than Hakazi's very nice showing on round number 2. There's so many different frags, but the other ult had a chance to get used. That is a very nice result from Sugal. He needs that. Hakazi goes down right after it from Starry. That's an important trade as well. Once again, taking out the top frag for the side of the Wolves.
Yeah, and now the Wolves are. We've seen this a few times in the past previous rounds, is where Oxy goes down and they don't really know how to move from there. Then he's trying to fade out a little bit of util as this team comes down from main. They haven't gotten rid of that wall, so it's going to be a huge problem in the face of this WP Davidson execute. They decide it's not even worth it. They're going to roll on out.
I mean, the spike does get recommitted towards that A, but it's going to take them some time, and Wolves, they take the bait again. Can they get over there in time? No one is on A right now from
30
either
seconds
team.
left.
Both of these teams are being so careful. Starry's still here with the lurk as well. Might end up finding the ball. He does so. Sukal catches him, but is so low that Starry just needs to land a couple shots. Successfully take him down.
Spike planted.
On the flank very soon. Doggo, though, already gets taken out by James, so this flank doesn't even need to activate. Both players for defense left through spawn have a lot to work through. This might be, yet again, another round for Davidson, unless they can work some magic.
They're gonna need to get some started. Jangle's got lots of Nightfall coming through, but gets him off guard. Bojangle's
One
down,
enemy
and
remaining.
another falls as well. 3 James down, and now it's just these Killa with all the util on the bomb needs to use it.
One enemy remaining.
Of it. It's
Hey, people, come on now. I'm
dangerous in these post-win situations.
What a nice 1v2 there from Killa to save that round after both the teammates go down one by one. It was a valiant effort, I gotta admit, from the side of Renegades. I mean, the two players there, I did not even think that there was a chance that even could possibly get close based on how well Davidson have been playing as a team. But yeah, they just took their ones. Every single duel went in favor of Renegade until there wasn't a duel that needed to be had. Killa, with the stars, with the utility, just pops them both. And then just trying to body block, I guess, trying to body block him back onto the defuse. It doesn't end up working out because they end up lining up after that for the Astra to get that 1v2. Now into round number 8. We're gonna go again. It's another one of these A-site hits. Very fast for Davidson. And in the defense, all they have are weaker
Spike
weapons.
down,
Person
A.
actually chimes in and does something good.
Yeah. Now they got the bomb down. They know exactly where they're trying to go, and the rotate starting to come back around. Sukal hanging out after waiting for the rotate to come through, and it looks like WP Davidson will oblige. It's hard to hide the information, and throws up a few vines to slam it down. See how it does. So they go through Ain and speak how it catch a little bit of a time.
Deficient.
Unaware Starry is and will go down.
30 seconds
They'll need
left.
a gun as well, a much needed gun for these Wolves. They want to settle back into rhythm here. The beat is there, not a street. Davis is still not on this.
Ultimate ready. Let's to die.
Chris able to catch a one-way,
10
couple
seconds
toes
left.
to Doggo, and now pops the ult. Well, so anything is now
Last
blind
player
physics.
standing. One
Gets the
enemy
trade, and
remaining.
now just leaves James against Hawkins. That's all the man they want in place for this, and they see why. Wolves back on the board. Hawkins, another important clutch for his team.
This is a player that you would want in these kinds of 1v1s, and James maybe getting a little bit antsy on the other end of things, kept giving away the audio, made all the footsteps. Hawkins had every idea what was going on in that round. There was no question in their mind how to win out that clutch. That's the first round in 5 that Renegades have won. 5 in a row for
You can-
Davidson.
Yeah, and you can kind of see, even obviously, even compared to them so well, was a little nervous trying to get that clutch up. Shout out to Phantom for being able to bring that one home.
Good dash up here just for some information, but I think he gets way more than what he bargained for. Here stays alive. They're both gonna go right back on the site. Doesn't last very long though. Starry straight through that harbor smoke. Does manage to take him out entirely out of the round. It's already a good result for Davidson. They just cancel right away. They try and send Killa onto a lurk through that mid position inside Art.
Drop in a smoke.
Thank goodness for the KO posted. Doggo does find success over there on the other side of the map, so it's not a completely free A site. Still a lot of work to do in the round. He wants to end up hitting this. Doggo only spots out when he gets baited by the Fade Haunt. That is so unbelievably unlucky.
At that point, you guys could say that might have just been supreme util on William Davison.
Spike
And
planted.
now, a free A site. As the retake begins, these have not gone well for the Wolves. However, we'll catch one. Gets a second on the free transfer. Sissy.
No charge.
Now it's
One
just-
enemy remaining.
2 remaining in main. It's just James with that operator. He's not gonna be able to get the shot down.
Big miss inside the Thorns. Nice util use from that clutch on the side of the Wolves. Sukal putting those Thorns down, making sure that James can't go for a fast speak on the diffuser. Has to take the duel versus Hakazi, and even was still moving, I guess. The shot went into the middle of nowhere. So with that miss, Hakazi is able to get that clutch alongside Sukal. Easy win for them too. And it's still Hakazi very, very top heavy for the side of the Wolves. This game is still close. Like I honestly thought, I think I did expect this game to go in a pretty close fashion in terms of rounds, but not in this way, where Hakazi is the absolute linchpin player for the Wolves, needing to perform or else his team just can't find success. And I hope that
Bring them down.
they're gonna find some kind of energy in the rest of the roster in order for some of them to wake
No
up and
can do.
potentially put up numbers that are close to what they're doing right now. If that is the case, Wolves might end up running away with it, but for the time being, Davidson are keeping it nice and close because their entire roster, I already said, everyone's firing on all cylinders on their team. So everyone performing is, so far, still outperforming Hakazi by themselves on the other end of things.
You should let. Obviously, it's not only not a factor, but also he can't
Line them up.
put himself in a position
Going
to get these
Nice.
clutches.
Gonna fall back here.
That was all. I don't think they check the. They don't check church. Finally, somebody does get started.
Later.
All too familiar 3v5 retake here for the Renegade Wolves.
It's To the sea.
Get it started on. Let's see. Little
One enemy remaining.
blinded by now just Screwball by himself. Gets hit by a right click. Unable to do it is the Renegade Wolves. Another round for WP Davidson. And they continue this roll and they're up 2 again.
And Davidson, once again, back to winning ways, and only after a single round they need to take. These rounds have gotten so darn close. Everyone's been going down on both sides. And because of that, Wolves are on an eco after only having lost that single round. Hakazi only with this SMG question mark? I mean, reconsidering for a second, opts for the Sheriff. Trusts their own aim. Sukal's the one wants the Spectre. 2 ghosts, a Bucky. This is not a very good showing for this defensive side. If anything, you hope the Knight here is able to make something work with this shotgun. He is in the best position to do it, but he actually decides to back out of the smoke. Needs to refresh it soon.
No PK.
Smoke goes away from physics. The double smokes, both recalled. That might be a tell from the side of Davidson. Renegade are not budging though. They're not sending anyone over to that B. It's only Device right now that's holding against what might be a push-up forward.
Yeah, but
Horns activated.
okay, staying smart here, not falling for the bait because that's what WP Davidson's been doing this entire attack half. And everyone holding strong. They're all ready to take through 3 balls. He hasn't even gotten down yet. WP Davidson got into the site. Finding dashing on Sorry was gonna make some aggression. The street decides they even want to smoke you out of there. That bomb's down. Full 5v5 retake coming up. First one of the day that we've seen. Those a little metal. Whoa. Those to the Sheriff gets him.
Nice.
Now traded out.
Last player standing.
As Hakazi gets spammed through Pillar and Starry goes down. Rather, Knight goes down right after.
Last
Round 1
round
by
before the
WP
switch.
Davidson, but a very expensive one as Renegades were able to get some win on that eco.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a lot of damage. 3 deaths. I think I would take that if I was on the Wolves' side with the amount of money that you were bringing into the round. But unfortunately, it's so late that I might be a little bit too late at that because the damage doesn't even matter at this point. There's an AWP in the hands of James. No tour de force at least, but Killa does have the Cosmic Divide available. No one else is close to ults though on their team, and Physics and Hakasi are both 1 away from their own. So if anything, you'd find a kill on the Waylay, a kill on the Fade. And this round could definitely go towards Wolves' side. And a 5-7 scoreline would not be too terrible based on how this map started out, 2-5.
Yeah.
You would take this any day of the week, but the attack is looking into this B site once again with another mid-B crunch, but this time one person looking towards mid position, and Starry already gets driven out by that Prowler from
They're setting in tons of aggression to make sure that Starry to the fight mid. I can see we are some teeth.
You are divided.
It's going to be very far behind that execute. Actually, you might be able to get the timing here as the rotations come off, that Cosmic Divide goes up, and now WP Davidson's going to be running into the exact man that Wolves want him to. A little, okay, too much damage only gets useless. But it was minutes with that judge. Pops the bonus below, they're gonna be slow.
30
And
seconds
falls
left.
right to the loving arms of James. It's able to be the saving grace for WP Davidson. All of his men were locked up, and he comes in. It says that he got their back. Good save to hold the ground together for Davidson.
10 seconds left.
progress over onto this A site, or B site, even though the time is very, very low.
Too far.
Plant can't really get cancelled, so they have that nice and safe, but it is a safe plant, so they can't really play too far back here. The defenders get a little bit of footing on the site. This could be a disaster for them.
Already C2 on top of that bomb. They're going down, and they're gonna full stick it. Wow. They lose. With
Switching sides. This is where someone
a bit of a desperation play at the end there. Going school call in the way of Knight, and they just full stick that bomb. sacrificing everything to get it done. And the 5-7 scoreline that's hard earned for these Wolves, looking to get something started here in the second half.
Yeah, big mistakes, uncorrectable from wingmen. In that first half, there's no more rounds that you could solve that on the attack. You've got to play the other side now. Maybe talk about it after the fact. But is 7-5 enough? That's the question. Now they're sitting on the side, which doesn't require them to do too much on this map. It's a Pearl, so you can really just sit pretty and chill if Wolves, they have too many solutions for what they have. They can store.
Lighting crack.
It's going to be a 5
Retrieving flash.
Everyone, you think. It's not a clutch at all. It's just every single player
Launching
trying to make their way through into the spawn. What's this going to be like? Airbus is going to have a shorting just like his opponent there on the waylay. There's a lot of shots being thrown both sides, and now it's only Airbus left here available to defend, and the shotgun is not going to be enough. Clove finds 2 kills with only a single trade from both angles towards the bottom of that B site. But they're going to back all the way out and make sure they stay alive in through spawn. And Wolves still have free reign to go pretty much anywhere they want to.
Yeah, they have full control of connector, so they can do whatever they want. Killer in physics. They're gonna have a lesson going on, and Killer
Teleport's ready.
living up to the name.
Spike planted.
So, now briefly we take out that bomb goes down. Screw calls sitting on top of the bomb. A little bit of util to deal with as stunned.
Last player standing.
They get swift swing, but he'll get traded out. Knight able to finish it out. And in the aggression, another round 1 of super important pistol. We're gonna go 6-7 here. Head, Pearl, and now the Wolves starting to catch a little bit of rhythm as they're in the catbird seat to take the lead, or at the very least tie.
Yeah, they should definitely be able to tie it up here. They have the mechanical ability on, if not everyone, at least on Akazi to make this happen. SMG, full armor for the fade. And they're going to be just not even... Well, we'll see if they go first engage. I hope they're not going to. I hope they're going in front of Akazi over here to make sure that he has the highest chance of getting any of these frags they need to into this A site. There's only 2 people here to defend, and they only have pistols. Very conservative save from the defensive side here to make sure they have as much money as they possibly can get into the next round. There's already a kill from Knight, so already a good start. A kill, no smokes, no stuns, no nothing from the defense. They didn't quite get in through spawn. And there's a couple frags happening for Davidson, so we won't completely count him out yet, I guess. 3-on-3 for this retake, still doable, but Huckabee the back though.
Satisfying.
Spotted.
One
6
enemy
up no.
remaining.
Good hit. 2, and Akazi gonna go get the third. Ooh, almost gets the third. Skukal finish it out in a great round for these Wolves. To convert that anti-eco in non-expensive fashion.
A bonus round here, but I wouldn't even call this the worst bonus in the world. Hakazi is going to still have this Spectre, and if I was Wingman, I think I would still be afraid of this player. Hakazi definitely knows exactly what to do with this gun. Is not scared at all, is completely confident, just go for the running gun. That's exactly what you want to do with the SMGs in this game, especially when you're that close up, taking
Weapon
these
here.
advantage fights. Make sure your opponents have as hard of a time aiming. Oh, well, talk him up, switches it out, still has a Guardian. Now he goes for the 1-taps. We'll see if he can make those happen against the members of
Bring
the
them down.
have been a lot of people on the enemy team that have been able to shut him down, but not very often. Only is 6
I'll
deaths.
find you.
Those 6 deaths and all of Wingman's wins. So we'll see if they can make that happen again.
They found my trap.
There's a little bit of that progression streak. Flash coming out, and looks like the Wolves want it. They're gonna start leaping down street. Hello, spot physics, top of mid. It's not that mid rush, but it's like the mid is gonna be coming to that C site. I said it earlier. It's
Bring them down.
honestly great to see your Davidson.
Where are you?
See obviously
Mark 2.
put down the gun that
30
you can run the
seconds
gun
left.
with. Down James Andrews as also
One
carrying
enemy
this side.
remaining.
already able to catch Tanano. And now WP Davidson in full control here as he shares Hakashi with
10
an
seconds
upgraded
left.
Guardian. Got a skin while we were gone. I'm gonna upgrade one more time to get something a little bit better. I don't think he'll find it.
That's so unlucky that he actually doesn't get an upgrade. Multiple of his team members did die with rifles in that round, so it would have been lovely to not have to rebuy in this one, but just drop the Guardian over to Physics. It's just a bonus, so not really too expected to win it, even though I would say with the weaponry, could have definitely given it a good go, but then come out of that round with everyone pretty much living because of that. Their money is going to be stacking up slowly but surely. Full buy for both teams. Oh, dude,
Bring them
Doggo
down.
once again. Doggo really, I'm surprised that this guy really doesn't like the SMGs and maybe a Bulldog or something like that. He just opts for the pistol. Physics has enough money to buy a Bulldog Guardian, but not gonna do it. They're gonna just stick with what they have, attack onto the A site. There is a Fatal, or excuse me, a Vice-Ult that comes out. So Bojangles retreat all the way back to the spawn. Wide Physics does the same as well. Dodging starting the round off. Starry with a response
Spike
down
down A.
from the side of the defense.
Last
And
player
everyone from
standing.
the offense is falling. Wolves only left with Hakashi for the umpteenth time.
Take hold.
Man, how many times have we seen this before? Obviously, it's a piece of candy on the ground, and unfortunately, there's somebody there to snatch him up before he's able to collect. So, another round for both wingmen, and just as quickly as they fell in this half, they're starting to get themselves back in shape. That 2-round lead is reappeared here in the second half.
It is a little bit deja vu for what has happened in the first, and you gotta hope for the sake of Wolves that the same thing doesn't happen. If there's 5 rounds in a row for Davidson wingmen, and they would end up at map points. Oh, okay, what?
Spike
There's
down
no
mid.
here. Walks up mid. One taps Hakashi, just gets out. And he stays alive. He does take a little bit of damage for that, but he will take that any day of the week.
You know, that might be worth like 2 first bloods if you get Odyssey on that. So we're able to get a trade. Spam back. Now Physics wants a piece of that. Going forward.
One enemy remaining.
Now
Flawless.
Star is able to continue. Gets 4. You can't go to that A side. Not when there's a Wayway named Starry holding it down. 23 and 12. Starry is even a lot better than, well, almost a better KD than Hakashi, but it's definitely right up there. And when you're performing at that rate and still keeping up with Hakashi, it's no wonder that the wingmen are up 3 right now.
Yeah, that is the name on the other side of things that you would have to look out for is Starry. It's going to be putting up those
Doing a
numbers
thing.
for their side as well, but having a lot more help. Unfortunately, for Hakachi's sake. Teammates sitting at 14, 14, 12. Hakachi has no one else that has broken 10 just yet. They are at 10. They are going to need a lot more if they want to have a good, decent contest against Davidson wingmen, because look at their, like, everyone is just doing so well. We're the side of the wingmen. They're 3 rounds up for a reason. Full rifles, full armor for everyone. Their money is through the roof. 4 of them are going to max out after this round, no matter what happens,
Right
even
here.
if they lose. And this is just so darn tough for the Wolves. If they lose this one, then it's another eco for them. So wingmen, this round is worth 2 if they end up winning it.
They got Knight going with the attack outlaw, not necessarily what you would want out of your full buy round. That's a good idea that there might be a few people in main. I think they're right. And
30 seconds
immediately by
left.
Pillow for trying to peek with that grenade.
Too bad.
Now, sorry. Gonna have a little bit of trouble in art. Able to get their counterpart Physics and Pillow. Unable to get anything backside Oxy, however. I've seen
Bring them
Physics able to clear up that site. 2v2.
10 seconds left. Where are you? Spike planted.
Scoop out. And Oxy
Bring
fight
them
it
down.
out. Cascade is gonna hit church.
One enemy remaining.
Now stunned. Obviously, Abel is stunned, and Bojangles there to clean it up. Davidson still too strong on these retakes and able to put on a clinic here. They go up 7-11. Now have a chance to put themselves at match point with the Wolves being super poor this round.
And what a poetic way to win out that round as well. It's Bojangles on the Fade, bottom of the leaderboard for the side of Davidson, going up against the Fade on the other end of things, the top of the leaderboard on the side of the Wolves, and Bojangles winning it out, charging up that ultimate. Nightfall for both Fades, and there is an ult for Starry, ult for Physics. It's the same ult. Yeah, it is the same ults. It's Nightfall and then conversion pass for both sides. Much closer on the board for everyone else on the Wingman. Again, the cycling, just like in the first half, is just better for Davidson. Or excuse me, no, that's not the same. I think there was Wolves that was better in the first half, but yeah, didn't really look like it. Look at the scoreline. Right now, Davidson definitely on the advantage, and somehow the Wolves did end up buying even after losing that previous round.
Bring them down.
They could have, but I guess with the 29 it's pretty much the same as winning anyways. They should lose all the weapons, have to rebuy everything. It's pretty nice and weak for any of these spray downs that might come from the defense, but Killa can't land it this time. It's going to be the entry kill on the other end of things from Sukal. Start off this round looking already better for the Wolves.
Face your fear!
Site, but there is a going both directions. Starting to the dodge, but can't manage to land the shot. Going to be left alone at the back bay, and it can't do anything more as well.
And yeah, that was just too much aggression coming into Story back there. And now 3v5 retake for Davidson. Now flipping the script here. It's usually Wolves on the 3v5 retakes, but we've seen these guys get it done. Ibris, however, make it a little bit harder. Bojangles able to take down Physics, and now
last player
Bojangles
standing.
James trying to get a little bit of work going, but won't be able to. Bojangles had the timing. That's just all that only shoots his shoulders. And the operator from Knight will close it out. 8 rounds go across the board as the Wolves are able to get themselves back into the win column here and force the Wingmen to now use a little bit of their money. Still plenty of it in their bank accounts, but you know, one step at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. Picked up a lifeline. A round as well as an op. See if Knight can use this. It's going to be on his $0, so there is no...
You want to play? Let's play.
And they're going to be reset after they get... If they end up losing this round, so this time there will be no buy in the next. Davidson are just perfectly fine. They have a little bit of a buffer, and James even not investing into a weapon this round, just sticking with that tour de force. He's going to make sure they have as much money as they possibly can going into these last couple rounds of what might potentially be the map. But for Wolves' sake, they want to hopefully drag it out a little bit longer and bring it over into overtime. But there's a lot that they have to do in order to get all the way over there. 3 rounds to tie, 2 more rounds to potentially win. And they have an ult to do it with, but Wingmen are still sitting with 3 in their back pocket. The first one might chime in just now, but Hakazi is way too good with the shot, and the sniper doesn't bear any fruit.
You know, like James thought that somebody crossed, and Hakazi able to take full advantage of it. On the round slowed all the way down. Davidson out on having that operator
30 seconds
down
left.
the entirety of B. They're going to all be a little bit Physics. With the shorty almost peaked into 11 on the and the execute coming out. Starry trying to get something going as he gets hit. Odd Prowler. He'll go down with Doggo. And how about Physics?
Spike
They
down,
go all the
B.
way at the spawn trying to catch Ibris.
One
Hard,
enemy
but
remaining.
They go down. This Physics able to finally get that kill. Bojangles, the lone man, 2v1 situation. Without the Prowler almost times himself in the sweep out. He knows where the op is. He knows where
Team
it's in that smoke, but what a swing and great shots by Squeak Out to close it up. Another round of the way of the Wolves, and we're starting to get a little bit closer here, Anson. And there, you know, they got the one, they've gotten the second one, and now the economies are starting to even out. This is where it starts to get a little scary for WP Davidson. Very quickly, you can see this scoreline change into something that they don't want to see.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a buffer now for Wolves, so they can handle a round loss, not only in terms of the scoreline, but also in terms of their economy. Sucal with 5 grand means that he can buy up for potentially 2 in the upcoming. Still, there's clean as he possibly can. Starry going up, taking some forward angle, doesn't find a kill. Only gets some info, but that is a lot of info, because that's 2 people outside A. They're going to stick around with a couple of these members of Davis and keep the chamber over towards Link, looking towards this A-Link side, rather than that B side. There's a trip there anyways, so if they want to do anything about it, Wolves are going to peek right in with the waylay, tap that trip, and that forces the chamber to drop back a little bit. So that weakens that A site just that tiny little bit more. With Doggo's presence, perhaps. Send a
Hitting the
couple
brakes.
over. You can see the fade maybe wanting to just take a step back. They're really reconsidering just how slow Wolves are playing, and they're being so methodical about it. Finally, Chamber does full commit, completely out of that weak position. But Clove, bigness, might needed to hit that shot if they wanted to take this B site nice and easy. Now it's going to be a little bit harder because there's still 2 members over here on the high level.
Drop in a smoke.
Still have
Thirty seconds left.
the execution's coming. Both angles both get one. Immediately traded out by Speedpal, and Icarus having that plan go down. 4v4 retake
Spike planted.
is what these wingmen would opt for. Doggo's still very low. He's holding a close angle, trying to get himself as much value as he can before he heads out. Wingmen locked it on it. Just goes down. Davison having a rough time getting out of this CT choke. They finally get out of
Last player
chase.
standing.
The one man with an op, he'll get flanked by James, and that'll do it. Another round for WP Davidson as they now switch
Maybe let's
to
kill them
that point.
before they plant next time, okay?
Thought that retake was a little bit slow. They were hesitating a tiny bit inside that.
Match point.
Lower, but I guess it just works out because they're able to find all the frags one by one, and the flank taking out the op to pick it up in that. Wait, no, excuse me. They didn't pick it up. They have an Odin. Okay, they don't even want to go for the sniper. Massive respect for that. But Renegades, because of having lost so many players in each of these rounds, their buy is going to be okay. Not the best. Definitely Physics and Doggo are not even going to full invest. Might I
Be right
remind
back.
everyone in the audience that this potentially could be the last round of the match. So I don't know why Physics didn't go for some big guns, but nonetheless, maybe it works. Sucal is able to take out a player on the enemy team, so there is a weapon to be into this A site. You need to back out. Killa doesn't want to lose her life way too early. A lot of pressure from Physics, surprising before the plan even goes down, but it is going to get confirmed. It's going to be a 5-on-4 for that retake.
Yeah, and Physics has him a spot right here. Gonna be caught by the harbor util, but man, he's able to get himself a
My ult is
now
ready.
Bojangles. Oh, one shot by
enemy
Bojangles.
remaining.
Oh my God, Bojangles now just with Doggo as Killa by his side, and the nightfall falls to flash up. Doggo goes to a swing, and won't be able to get it as smokes up. The plant is the stick is coming through as Doggo just trying to spam through. Won't be able to. What a round by Bojangles.
Defenders
Gets a
win.
piece and the prize on the side to close it out here at Pearl.
What a way to win it as well. Out of any round that I thought the Wolves could possibly win, I thought it would be that one right there. A 4, like, it was a 4-on-5. I'm like, that gets doable a little bit. And then it became a 3-on-5. And then I was like, no way. 2-on-4, it should be done. It should be another round for the attack. But no, it is Bojangles to just raise through that site. No pun intended. He's on the fade, but you get the idea. Just headshot every single player, getting a very swift double kill as he's coming back in through that spawn position. What a crazy showing from multiple of these members. Of course, we could look at Starry all the time at the top of the scoreboard. Yeah, he got 25 kills. It's pretty impressive. But the number of times I saw Killa and Bojangles specifically step up in the moments where it mattered the most. Of course, there were a couple whiffs here and there, but is like every clutch. We saw multiple different 1vx's won by Bojangles, one of them specifically versus the top player on their opposing side, being Hakazi, Fade versus Fade, and it's somehow Bojangles to win it out. Uh, Completely deserved. I think Davidson played absolutely phenomenally. So well done for them for winning that first map. And well, I mean, I still say it's a good attempt from the Wolves. We didn't see this map earlier yesterday. There's two ascents. There was like a Lotus or something like that. But we did not see a Pearl. So this is definitely the first showing that both these teams have had, at least during this LAN. So no time to prepare between yesterday and today for this specific map. But coming up next, we do have the nice tried and true familiar as Ascent. It's going to be our guaranteed map number 2. So we'll see if they can pull it back or if this is going to be a swift 2-0 for our first match of the day. But before we get there, we'll let the teams take a little bit of a break as we get the map set up. So for you guys in the audience, thank you so much for watching so far, but we'll see you in just a little bit. After a close battle on map number 1 between Davidson and Renegade Wolves, these teams come on to their second map of Ascent, where we have seen them both play before yesterday, but this time it's Renegade Wolves that are backed against the wall, that they need to win this in order to bring us to a third map of Lotus so that they can have a chance of rematching their opponents of HSE in the grand finals. But Wingmen want to end it right here and right now. Ascent, tried and true, like I mentioned before, this map has been in the pool all along. Well, they took a break and then it came back, and now every single team is playing it again because it's just that staple of a map. So we're back here. I wonder, since we did see this yesterday, however, because of the fact that both teams also have changed players between today and yesterday, I'm not entirely sure what to expect. I think the most curious thing is going to be, for me, is going to be on the side of Wingmen, because they have actually not only changed players between yesterday and today, but they've actually changed players between every single map they've played so far. Both maps yesterday, they had different players, and today they had a different player from those two maps. So not entirely sure what we're going to see coming into this one. But for here, we actually have no subs. We're keeping the same player today. It's James on the docket. Yesterday, we had a name which I will not say on broadcast. I don't know how that was allowed to be on. But the other one was Void CH. So they had a couple different players filling in their flex slot. They had a Fade in the first map yesterday. They had a KJ for Voidcha, and this time James is going to be playing on the Teo on the map of Ascent, which was not what they were running yesterday. This is in fact a completely different composition. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on right here. Yesterday on Ascent, the Wingmen played a a Sova, Omen, KJ, Reyna, and Waylay. And today, the only similarity is the Waylay. Everything else has changed. Roles have changed. Players on the roles have changed. Don't entirely know what's going on. While on the side of Renegades, they are, I think, also different. Well, hold on. Let me take a look. Let me make sure they are a little bit. Physics swapped off of the Waylay from yesterday and from map 1 onto the Jet. So perhaps they might think that that might be a slightly better idea for them than what they had brought earlier. They had the Omen yesterday as well on Sukal instead of the Clove. So there's a couple different changes. Both teams are really mixing up for this second day of play. So we'll see if some of their problem solving can do anything more for them than yesterday, because it wasn't really too good of a showing, albeit the fact that their opponents were probably much higher level. But we'll see as we get into it. This is Ascent map number 2 between Davidson, Wingman, and Renegade Wolves.
And they're going to be right back out to it. Starry going right back to the well, peeking mid with the dash online. The flash, Hagashi immediately getting into work. And cool to see Hagashi go for the more aggressive Phoenix option here on Ascent. I'm a big fan of Phoenix on Ascent here. But Ibris is going to go down as Hagashi, or actually Physics, gets his first blood. First of the match will get traded out by Killa. And now Hagashi forced to swing, gets 2!
One enemy remaining.
He's gonna go for a third and gets a 4. Hagashi right back where they left off. 4 kills to open up this Ascent match, and they're on fire.
Absolutely lovely from the Phoenix over on the offense. Renegade Wolves are coming out swinging, but they did the same thing last map. This time it's 1 extra kill for Hakazi, and instead of I think it was Sukal or Doggo that helped him out in the previous round, or in the previous map, but this time it's Physics to follow up that 1 kill to prevent Hakazi from unfortunately getting an ace in round number 1. But maybe we'll have more time for that in the future. But they have to string more rounds together for their own sake in this one. Offense win the first round will let them move a little bit of momentum into this anti-eco, with the only weapon being bought up in the hands of Starry, who is not quite available for this A-side ingress from a couple different players. Cat worked by just a second, but they all actually retreat back into A main for a 4-man potentially coming up in a little bit. But Bojangles does thin the herd a little bit. The head Doggo wants to go for another kill, but instead just picks up the weapon and recovered a Guardian for the defense now. This could be a little bit dangerous if they continue committing into this A site.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. It looks like the Renegade Wolves are gonna opt against it. They dropped a bomb right outside of top cat and are just looking like they're trying to find somebody aggressive a little bit too far. And look at that, it's Starry who's gonna get a tag, won't get hit for their troubles. And now they've got tons of information for this Davidson team. Looks like we're gonna have Cypher walk up a little bit.
30
Starry
seconds left.
in that smoke. He can get spammed a little bit, but he's gonna be all right. And now that slow push is the Renegade Wolves. They're starting to take a little bit more space. There's Hakaji slashing on the site. Molly into CT will take care of it. And Ibris with the right click is gonna hold down this A site for just a little bit longer, making sure that bomb is now stuck on
One
lane.
enemy remaining.
Gives him no choice but to walk into Bojangles, who's been dangerous. And Hoxie can't save you there. Davidson getting on the board, converting the anti-eco.
That is rough for the Renegade Wolves. I'm not gonna lie, Da Vinci had everything going for them in the buy in that round. There was no weapons for the side of the wingman other than Starry, but I don't even think Starry did anything in that round. It was all Bojangles walking out of A with the headshot with the classic, picking up the Guardian, landing so many different frags for the people trying to walk back into B with so little time remaining. But Renegade Wolves really looked stun locked after that first kill. They had no idea what was happening. They were stuck top mid. 30 seconds. And this is at that time. They just had to go so fast that they really couldn't do too many things. Bojangles coming with that. Coming into the third, and they're obviously win the second round after even better. Here we go.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
Inside the catwalk, and all that's left is going to be Hakazi for the 50 millionth time. What map he's in. He's on for the clutch. This time it has to be a 1v5, but only having found the first kill, he's already taken down real low to 36 health. Don't think this one's going to be doable.
No, but he did get the Phoenix ult in the meanwhile, which will be great for that second round. Gets two, however, and finally Ibris running, gunning, making sure that he doesn't become the next victim. Closing out that round for Davidson, and a nice little conversion on, I guess, what would be their first full buy of the round. But now Da Vinci is going to have some work to do. They got a very unenviable position here, as they're a little bit poor, and having the force here gonna need this one round if they want to stay alive on this attack half.
Starry's going to keep that that outlaw over into this round as well. This is going to be so if you can find the correct targets. He's going to be looking straight
Joke's
at
over!
right now.
You're dead!
This is one of the targets.
Later.
Takes out the ultimate. Thank goodness the Hakazi had that running back to be able to take that first bullet. Now understand the fact that this outlaw is in play. There's 3 members, including Hakazi still, that could die to this weapon.
Watcher expired.
And, yeah, it's gonna be super important, as looks like Starry's still just hanging out with this outlaw in mid, making sure that there's no aggression, but still tons of wolves who want the smoke. They're gonna get scanned by James. And now it looks like Da Vinci has found their way onto this A site. Another great kill by Physics. Will get traded out by James, and now Starry's got a rifle in his hands.
One
All
enemy
the way down
remaining.
here. It's now
Don't miss me too
35.
much.
Hakazi gets called out, peeking main a little bit too soon.
All missiles away.
Just leaves Doggo, who is set for the slaughter. Walks into 3, another round for those wingmen.
Man, Starry is just way, way too good. 6 KDA right now. Well, 6 KDA, sorry. 6 interactions in the game so far with players. And 5 of those have been victories. And I guess there's an orb recovered somewhere in the midst, because they're sitting at 1 below what they need to have that convergent paths online already. Last time it was Hakazi with the Fade, having so many kills with that ult up, I think round 3 or round 4 or something like that. This time, it's the Phoenix, so a little bit easier to find those orbs. It did have an ultimate in the previous round, but that one didn't end up working out because the Outlaw from Starry was way, way too strong. So smart to be able to hold that over into the round where Renegade are still going to have half armors. This time, not going to have that. it's going to be 5 rifles, but given how they've been playing so far, I don't really think that not having an outlaw in this kind of situation would really be the biggest problem for their arsenal. There's not really too many weapons on the other end of things either. There's a sheriff, a marshal, a bucky. They have to try and brute force their way into this area. So far, you gotta say so good, but physics doesn't find a kill. Goes down to
Spike down A.
Small little frag and a headshot and a flash.
One enemy remaining.
Thrown at the Wolves' face. The only success they've had is the Cypher. And that is all that they're gonna have in this round.
Yeah, the Renegade Wolf. By the time they're ready to hit the site pop, the entirety of WP Davidson was just waiting for them with open arms. Not to mention Starry getting 2 kills in the process and then staying alive anyway.
So difficult to play against a team like this. If you're on the Wolves' side, there really is no solution that you can implement.
One suppressed.
Not the best knife in the world. Let's get one.
Still can do.
For the next couple seconds.
Too bad.
Maybe they should be. Because Starry.
Spike down.
Frag.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah.
Ready? Erebus is going to follow
back
up with
here.
a couple more. And Starry wants some more action. Right on through. And gets that spray transfer as well on a Sukal. Nice tracking from the Whaley on the defensive wingman. Up 4.
I mean, who needs util when you've got a smoke and a phantom to throw bullets into? Starry at 11-2 here on round 6 is just frying right now, and any site that he's on, it might as well be a KJ lockdown at it.
And 6 out of 8, 6 out of 7, 7 out of 8. So many different ults. 1 away from the side of the wingmen. The Wolves kind of have the similar. They have the blades,
Back in a flash.
but I would argue that the blades and the neural theft are a little bit less impactful than the stuff that they're charging up right now. I'm not entirely sure if Starry actually spotted anyone in main, but yeah, the refract comes through. So whether or not he got info, I don't think he did. There's no way that he would not be watching main if he saw anyone there. The Cypher
Yeah.
cage is going to come out to let that creep on in.
Be able to.
Erebus is still watching. No smokes being expended towards B either, so this could still be dangerous if they walk straight through, just like last round.
Yeah, but they've learned their lesson. They're looking for that smoke to fall. Ibris gonna get out of there. Had a little bit of a relocation. They're not too sure where he is. And neither of these Da Vinci Wolves they're gonna rotate out and try and like Killa gonna catch Sukal and then get
Spike
Doggo as
down
well.
mid.
Physics finally there for the trade.
I know exactly.
Big 2 kills as Bojangles now takes out the biggest wolf of them all. There goes Hakasi.
30
Now
seconds
he's
left.
stuck inside a tree.
One enemy
but
remaining.
Nothing to do but get spammed by util. And it's no chance. Another round going the way of the wingman.
Poor Naito out there, stuck inside a tree, nothing to do, like you mentioned. It's like everything thrown at his feet. Just in the middle of that round, by the way, just gotta shout out a couple players. Killa and Bojangles clean on the shots. Made them look easy. All the instant headshots, pretty much every single player that ends up on their screen goes down. Bojangles continuing their form from the previous map too, looking even better now than on the Fade, honestly. Like, yeah, they won a bunch of clutches, but I don't think the KD was nearly as good. Bojangles' efficiency right now, he has not gone down at all, except for probably round 1, considering it is a single death when they have a single round loss. So I don't know if it's pathetic or not, but if Bojangles goes down, maybe they see another round of loss. So perhaps he's the linchpin instead of Starry, even though Starry has 12 frags and the convergent paths ready. They have a lot in their back pocket. And this unconventional comp, I think I would say, does have a lot of power behind it when it does get ults charged up. There's an orbital strike in the hands of Killa. Starry's got that convergent paths. They could have a null command upcoming if Bojangles gets an orb or a kill as well. So there's so much stuff that just prevents any of these attackers from making any moves on the attack. Meanwhile, on the other end of things,
Sorry,
all they
little
really
wing.
have is a Phoenix ult and
Hitting the brakes.
Doggo with their own KO ults. But they have to make something happen with that, and instead it's Starry to just take that out of the round right there and then. There's 2 responses Still in 3-on-3, so honestly, not even that bad of a result for Renegade Wolves, considering that they didn't really bring too much into this round in terms of money and economy. They're gonna get onto this B site relatively for
30
free.
seconds left.
Knight wants some more action. Cuts out. iPad doesn't manage to get the kill though.
Oh.
He's trying to stand through that. And now, even with the plant going down, he's still advantage defense.
And now Akashi
Last
gonna
player
run into a
standing.
whole bunch of util, gets caught on the timing, and now it just leaves both ends.
One enemy remaining.
Backside, and he's fighting for his life. 22, and just Killer left. Gonna have to reload. Has the ult on 9, but what a shot by Killer! Oh my goodness.
I never
There's the ult to stall for a little bit longer, but Killer's on top of it, chases him down, and extinguishes the threat from those Da Vinci Wolves. And man, how about this WP Davidson team? Every member firing on all cylinders, and then you have the overdrive. You have Starry in overdrive just to make sure that it's out of reach.
Yeah, he really is cementing every single one of these rounds. Like I mentioned, it's Killa and Bojangles following that up, and like the other two members aren't even that far behind. I think James and Erebus also didn't really get too many mentions in the first map, but like they're still doing fine. Like 5-3, 4-3. That's all right. They're
Absolutely.
sitting back. They're even with the util. You can even see it in that round as well, completely displacing Hakazi. He's nowhere to stand inside a lane. So very nice salvos from James to make sure that he just could not play the game. He's not allowed to. Everything
Yeah.
from the side of Wingman, just that's what it feels like. It really does feel like when you're on the Wolves, you can't play. Like this is not your map. You can't stand here on Ascent. Even inside of Heaven,
You're
can't
dead.
walk in the smoke. You cannot do that. This time that's on the other end though. The Wolves having a little bit of success with these. The ult goes down, and then the Cypher goes down alongside it. The plant gets attempted, and Cancer right as well. What are they gonna do? Hakazi's stuck here in mid. I don't know if Starry's gonna read the fact that he's behind this box.
Spike
But on the site,
planted.
he's not even having that much success either. Hakazi needed that frag. That was so important. Killa full flashed. That's still not
Last
gonna commit
player
to it.
standing.
Hakazi's still getting scared. But at least now Killa is the last alive. Can't manage shots on the doggo either. He's gonna need to do a lot in this clutch. 3 different members. They're fine. And up inside of Heaven does find the first. Good for at least Sukal. But this should be a double swing very, very shortly. Flash in hands for the Phoenix, and the curveball is going to come out. A lot of damage being done on Aquila. This round should be all done and dusted. That's a nice little double swing there at the end to make sure that Renegade at least get a second round on the board.
And that's what we like to see it from those Renegade Wolves. Just good, solid Valorant. They got themselves and they got numbers and had a post-win situation and just an easy convert. No heartbreak needed, and they finally get themselves back on the board for the first time since Pistol.
This has really been familiar. This is how it's been, even in first map where it's been like Pistol. And that game, they at least won the anti-eco. This time,
Yeah.
they didn't. That was really, really rough ever since that happened. And it's gotten a little bit better. The fact that James have won 7 in a row means that they have rich. beyond
Back in a
belief.
flash.
So much cash. And Sorry, you can see it. Completely confident. Doesn't care if he loses life. Doesn't care if he loses the gun. Just wants to make all the plays happen. Wolves, whether they expect it or not. Sorry's lucky to be alive in that kind of situation. In no world should you be allowed to get away with that one.
I mean, we're living in Waylay's world, and, you know, but that's just a regular Tuesday for her. But the Wolves were looking to go for that A execute. They decide against it. It would have been a great idea. Doggo, the only one on that A side, he's hanging out in the tree. Actually, correction, you got James hiding right behind that WP Davidson logo. As Starry will go down. Now numbers for those Renegade Wolves.
Molly.
The smoke is going to delay another 20 seconds, though. There's only 35 of those remaining. Don't really have anywhere to go over towards that.
30 seconds left.
How good Bojangles has
Spike
been doing
down
so
mid.
far. Luckily, Doggo has the ultimate, so he has a second chance to make something happen for them. But it's even more time being bought with this Dale Walt going down inside
Watching
a
the
tree.
spot.
Skies to do everything right now. Knights, do you have your blade? Do you have your sword drawn?
10
And
seconds
apparently not. It's not
Spike
sharp enough.
down
But at least
A.
the Molly does take out his target. James goes down in hell. But Erebus has
Last
done
player
more than enough
standing.
up in heaven, and he runs
have
for
retrieved
that
this
kill on a physics too. And that's all she wrote. Erebus even jumping for that last one. He's playing a different game. What the heck are we watching? 8-2 for Wingmen.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta, when the round breaks down like that, it just turns into a death match. You gotta get out there and go see what you can see. Go find an enemy if you can. Unfortunately, eventually just unable to. So another round going the way of those wingmen, but man, just a whole bunch of stall coming in from these wingmen. And you know, Ascent is a defense-sided map, so not too crazy a scoreline to see 8-2 here early.
I like your optimism. I respect it.
You know, you gotta have it, especially when you're
Be right back.
having Starry have one of those games. It's just you hope that it's only because it's defense.
Bye-bye.
I think, like, overall, I think with the certain levels of play, it's definitely easier to defend it just in general as well. It's just, it doesn't matter what map it is. So, like, fingers crossed for the side of the Wolves, that might be one of the prevailing factors. Perhaps they really just need to be able to hunker down and wait for their opponents to walk into their crosshairs. Because it hasn't really been that way so far. It has been Starry looking a little bit overzealous. But this time it's James that he found on the other end of the headshot. Once again, it's back to
Spike down mid.
Hey, hold this. It's caught between a door and a hard place, and apparently Hawkeye is there to save his life because Bojangles this time doesn't manage to get a double kill. So perhaps this is the biggest chance the Renegade Wolves have had in a long
planted.
time. Benching out.
Negating.
Not only
Yo, one more done it.
paper,
Turn it on.
they have to actually turn their drawings into reality because their opponents are still making this thing happen
enemy
slowly
remaining.
but surely. Erebus finds another kill. Now in the ultimate, he is completely evolved. But on the other side,
enemy
he's
remaining.
made the flank happen. Erebus now gets off that plant and even hits the jumping shot onto Knight, completely decapitates him. And still in that 2v4, Wingman come out on top.
That's just unfortunate for the Renegade Wolves. They
Last round in the
had
half.
Knight with the very late lurk, and it looked like they were primed to convert it, but what a shot by Erebus. And you know, you were just saying it, everyone's doing their part here. Just like that, Erebus is now slowly creeped into second frag, showing that they got just as much value as Hawkeye.
Man, I don't even like if James activate. I mean, he doesn't need to activate. They're not losing rounds. But if he activates, this is gonna be a hell of a fight. Even in they're just going. They're not afraid. They're just going. Util out. They had the set piece out for A main, and that might have been an attempted fake coming up from Renegades. They had a couple players there. Spike not committed, so it's not the end of the world. But what a read from Wingmen. The only thing in their favor so far is at least they have taken out the top frag so far for the side of the Wingmen. Wolves for the kill on the Starry. Everyone else still alive. Bojangles stands his ground for just a second.
Trap
Really wants to
trigger.
try and catch someone on that cross.
One enemy
He's now
remaining.
gone down, and
Spike
that
down,
is a
B.
disaster. Airbus, even he's going for the crouch spray. He's literally playing Counter-Strike right now. This is not the game that we're watching. But Akazi in a 1-on-3, can he make this happen? The bounce flash is phenomenal, and this one might be doable. 45 seconds, plenty of time to play with. Spike not in hands. That's the only thing that we need to worry about right now.
Going
What's
up.
the timing gonna be like on Bojangles?
One enemy remaining.
Stairs. He gets the vision. Hakazi, even with the Phoenix, can end up healing up off that wall.
30
This
seconds
is a
left.
massive chance for him to end up winning the round. He just doesn't know what this last player is. The Brimstone has the ultimate. Killa can just hold that until Hakazi goes for a plant. But there is also an ult on the other end of things. There is a run it back. But he surely doesn't use it. If he uses it at the wrong time and Killa reads this, she could just ult the body. And that might be
10 seconds left.
around. But there goes the ult first. There's nothing he can do about that plant. Has to delay. But now there's nothing. Wait,
No time.
He ulted into the ult. He literally ran it back into the orbital strike, and because
Switching
of that, he's
sides.
stun locked in the
You not ready
animation
for a light
and
show?
couldn't go for the plant. What a genius play I thought it was a little bit early, but apparently not. Killa timed that absolutely perfectly. It was nothing Akazi could do.
Yeah, it was just a great orbital strike from Killa. Hakasi tries to go for the desperation, run it back to like see if they can get on site, but that orbital strike got some. I don't know, maybe it got a new buff. That thing obliterated the run it back immediately, and it was just no chance for Da Vinci.
Man, I feel bad for Akazi there. Like, he made that 1-on-3 doable, but it's just a button press from Killa. What deserved at that? Like 8 points for the ult. Takes some time to get that charged up, so fair play. That's exactly what you want to do to win the round. You have to look at the scoreboard and be like, he's got to go a little bit faster. 10-2, very, very excited scoreboard. First half, the Blue Wolves have a lot to do on this defense, and they have to start it off on the weak side of the site here. Double trip though. We'll see if the Clove can do anything off of that, but Akazi already off the board. Not a great start.
Gonna fall back here.
And not a great sign. We already got them off the board early. There go the trips out, but Knight trying to make sure the site gets held down. Physics trying to do their best Starry impression, unable to hold it down in mid. And Abris there to clean up the slack, gets one, will get traded immediately by Knight. They're inside a spawn, will run through heaven, but there's a stack from Davidson already waiting for him.
Spike planted.
Plan will go down, but Killa almost getting caught on the timer. Knight unable to do it. He'll drop out.
Last player standing.
Here's in the process. Good call. Now in hell with 25 to his name. Has to make it work. Bojangles at full health will be the first to peak. It looks, but there goes that Molly. And now Skukal has limited options in 20 seconds to work with. They walk out, but time's gonna expire right here. You won't have time to get on that bomb. Bojangles able to clean it up, and another round going the way of Davidson. And I was trying to be optimistic about their chances here, but you know, going 10-2 at the half, losing the pistol, it's looking a little bleak here.
This is quite grim. How they have been absolutely dismantled by the side of Davidson wingmen. This is I mean, yeah, there's not really a solution. It's not really just a one-step fix-all kind of problem, or kind of thing that they can go for. It is a lot of different pieces of the puzzle. When you come up against a score like this, the entry frag.
Be right back.
Yes, again. That one bit of a misdash. I think he meant to go into smoke there. Heat though, but it's fine. He doesn't lose his life. Sukao goes down, and the refract brings him back to safety. Repairs his place. And there is no way back in for what these Wolves have to offer. But the pistols,
One enemy remaining.
make that just one. Starry, 3. He's not gonna ace. In fact, he's gonna get completely destroyed by Akazi. But bullets the other way. Meaning that he's only at 9 HP. 1-on-4. Lots to do. And all he can hope for is perhaps some kind of mistake, some kind of weapon away, so the bonus round isn't nearly as painful. But he's gonna get checked over here, and there's no chance. Maybe even picking up the Guardian. There it goes. James is not going to be able to recover that final gun, so there's only 3 saved over, but that might be all they need, because that is 12.
Yeah, and another unfortunate round for those Renegade Wolves. They just end up getting ran down and caught off some weird timings, and it looks like Starry can just do no wrong. He misses the dash into the mid connector and ends up running gunning a kill anyway.
Force suppressed.
Great
That's a
knife,
big
I'll
knife.
catch 4.
And I don't know if Wingmen are, but the spike is literally in spawn. No one picked it up. So it's not even wrong in a position where they can go very easily. It's just not there. And Renegade Wolves are playing pretty proactive. Sending things off in just for a bit. Starry straight into B, but I think they finally realized it. I don't think it was completely on accident. Hoxie trying to take advantage of these guys being all the way back in Bojangles perhaps getting caught out here, but he's not walked deep enough. But Bojangles is able to get around the corner, and Starry gets another frag too on a physics. Slowly but surely, Knight with that important trade. Top frag gone down again.
And now
Outside of A main, he's able to
Spike
get that
down, mid.
transfer. Bojangles also goes down, so maybe there is another chance. Renegade Wolves are staying alive for just a little bit longer.
you were saying that you needed them.
One enemy
You needed
remaining.
Davidson to start showing that they're human and start making mistakes and take advantage of it
30
somehow.
seconds left.
Them leaving that bomb in spawn might have been it. That'll get Da Vinci into a great spot, barring a miracle from James here. James just waiting for somebody to peek him. No one will oblige. Just Knight Hachi go like crossfire. Hachi will go down, but great trade by Knight.
It's actually weird. Like some of these kills that have been happening are completely illegal. Like I don't even know how these are coming through. There was Erebus's running headshot up from heaven onto the dice boxes in A, then the jumping kill, and then that one is just I don't know. Well, you take what you can get if you're both teams at this point. Renegade Wolves need it as much as they can possibly garner. And they're gonna still be not the best in terms of economy. Physics is still sitting on only half armor, but at least they have their weapons. Similar story for the wingmen though. They also have a lot of guns to be working with across the board, and Bojangles the only one struggling to be on the sheriff. Everyone else
One
has everything they
suppressed.
possibly want. So still keep an eye out for Starry, Erebus, and Killa on those bigger weapons.
Looked like Physics got spammed a little bit at the start of that round. He's already at half health. And now Davidson has the bomb in hand. They're ready for this A execute. Right over. Almost got caught up by a salvo. And now Starry gonna go down. A big first kill for Da Vinci.
I must wait a moment.
That is so important. There was an ult now on the board for this Waylay in the next. So it's obviously for wingmen, they got to be thinking in their own heads. It's only a matter of time. You got to just send something. And apparently they're splitting up. There's 40 seconds remaining. These players are not really going to be able to connect after they make some kind of play on B. It's going to be something to keep these players over here. Airbus making a lot of noise right now, checking every single corner, picking up this field as well.
30
Because
seconds
they
left.
are actually just going to concede the round unless they can make some kind of miracle happen. Airbus going for some more noise, swinging all the way over. And James, though, with that crucial kill, hold on.
Now
This might
there's
not be
something to get
completely done yet. Like, the
Spike
plan
planted.
there was definitely get the orb for Erebus. If they die, they have 2 ults for the next round. Now they have the plan down. Now they could just finish this here and now. 4 and 4
Blocking
for
sight.
retake. A lot of utility to be had, but Physics, can he get into the site? There's no dash.
Here.
There's a spot there in mid as well. Knife at least gets shots. So Physics looks the wrong way. James
Jinx.
finds his third.
One
He's on
enemy
the ace so
remaining.
far, but he doesn't quite get it. Hakazi, last alive,
Attackers
needs to do
win.
everything for the side of the Wolves, but instead it's Wingmen to come out way over top, 13-3 for that second map victory. And they get their chance to face off against their nemesis in the grand finals, a rematch against HSC. And honestly, after this kind of momentum in this lower bracket final, I would give them pretty good chances to take them to the distance.
Absolutely. I mean, I won't speak too soon. This is the same matchup we had last year, and once in the same way, Davidson came in rolling into that grand finals, and right before they were stopped by the eventual champions. But they've got themselves in at the very least, they're warm. They know what they want to do. They know what their plans are, and at the very end, everybody on that team is contributing at full power, whether it be from util usage or just being able to tap ahead. Everyone's just doing every part. So if there's any time to play one of the best teams in the nation, it will be right now for those wingmen.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's the best way to put it. And they need all this energy that they have, so they somehow they got to keep it over. And unfortunately, they're not. I don't know how quickly they're gonna be able to do that because remember, this is at LAN, so we are gonna have to have some players physically swap out. So hopefully we get that as soon as possible because Davidson are gonna want to bring all of this energy into the next matchup that they have. It's going to be Davidson Wingmen versus. I'm gonna read out their full name here. Apologies. It's going to be HSE Royals. We'll see if the Royals can crown themselves or if Davidson Wingmen can steal that crown away from them. But we'll have to wait a little bit as we get that game set up. So for everyone in the audience, thank you so much for watching so far. We'll see you in a little bit. Davidson if they want to be able to take that crown away from them. But as you can see from earlier, Davidson had a pretty easy time as well earlier today against their opponents at Da Vinci. They did take it pretty convincingly 2-0. The first map was a little bit of a battle back and forth, 13-9. Second one, not even close, 13-3. So hopefully, for Davidson's sake, they can take some of that momentum from map number 2 and bring it over into here because we do have somewhat of a repeat. We have Ascent yet again for the maps, but we'll talk about that in just a second. These guys are just like, I don't know. I am a little bit afraid for Davidson. I gotta admit, I think their individual players are very, very good. We could see them earlier where they were all just fragging, all of them shooting, and their util use was phenomenal as well. Maybe I don't know if that was just because of the team they were playing up against, but whatever the case, they looked really, really good. Coming up against HSE Royals, though, this is just an entire another echelon of team. We've got, like I mentioned, the repeat of Ascent. You've got Haven, which we didn't see before. We didn't even get to Lotus, which is the other three site map. But yeah, they didn't need to play that, so we didn't see any of those earlier today. And if we need to, we could see a repeat of Pearl. But it's gonna be, I think Davidson's prerogative to get us there. I don't think HSC are gonna be worrying about Pearl at all. But if they do, then it's gonna be super exciting because yeah, yesterday this wasn't a very difficult matchup for the HSC Royals.
Yeah, no, it was I mean, it didn't the score line says they didn't have too much of an issue. They went up 2-0, didn't even look back and for that first game of the championships here at San Antonio. But you know, we just saw Davidson, those wingmen really show how formidable they were on Ascent, especially especially that defensive side. And if they're able to find themselves in a good position heading onto the attack. I mean, who knows what happens? Maybe we do force that Pearl, but if anything, it does start right there at Ascent because that's the map that Davidson has been most familiar with out of these three so far,
Hmm.
and it's really going to be a matter of if they can jump out because this Hamilton Southeastern team has just kind of been sitting in the wings waiting for their opponent, and Davidson did have that extended now 40-minute break, so they'll be a little cooler, but now still have the chance to be more warm than Hamilton Southeastern.
Yeah, I think yeah, we might have a little bit longer to wait as well, huh? HSC are back. It looks like they're back. But they had a second where they were taking pictures, I think at the LAN. So that was pretty cool. But HSC already having success in some other games so far. So we'll see if they can repeat that amount of success inside of Valorant. I think based on their performances so far in the season and yesterday alone, that yeah, they're probably the favorites coming into this grand finals matchup. But for Davidson, they have reps already today, and they have their day 2 lineup here as well. So I'm curious to see what they're going to be bringing in terms of composition, because we saw their ascent earlier was very, very different than their ascent yesterday against this exact team. And it looks like if James is to be believed, I don't think I think it's a troll. There's no way he's playing Yoru. He was on a Tejo before, so that's completely different, and it worked very very well. I don't think they're going to change, but everything else in their lineup seems to be fairly standard. Starry is going to continue on the waylay. Seems to very much enjoy that agent. Bojangles on the KO, Erebus on the veto, I think the most important thing here is the fact that they have a brim. So if agency royals are going to continue their form yesterday, like they just absolutely the stall power, uh, you can't. I think brim is really difficult to work against a team that can stall you out super hard because you only have three smokes. You don't have any kind of leeway to use one, have a reset for later. You have to know where you are going to hit and what you are going to take on the map is because you don't have recharges. So Killa is going to have to be really diligent about those against a team like HSE. But speaking of HSE, these guys are not changing anything. They're not changing one single bit. They have the exact same composition as yesterday. Pip's going to be on that entry duelist who is so so dangerous on the jet, 26 and 12 in this exact same matchup yesterday. Turns as well on the Sova, pretty much the same. He's 20 and 8, not as many kills, but not nearly as many deaths either. Single digit deaths in a map that went 5 to 13 in the favor of HSE Royals. So we'll see if Davidson has come up with some kind of thing overnight, whether they can fix some problems up or not. Definitely the composition's changed just a little bit and the players as well, because once again, we have James sitting in for Voidch yesterday, who was on the KJ. And yeah, I hope for their sake they're able to put up a little bit more of a fight, or else this one might be kind of fast. More than 5 rounds is what they're looking for. HSC Royal is trying to make this even quicker than they did yesterday. You can see the team synergy on the screen even right now with all 5 players rocking roses. Beautiful stuff from their side. But this is the grand finals matchup of 2026 EGFH Valorant, HSC Royals versus Davidson Wingmen, right into the map of the set as soon as we get to load in. It seems like some of the PCs are having a little bit of issues, but that's just technology, I guess.
Yeah, living in this modern day and age, you just got to be all right with technology and doing what it wants to. And it looks like it's gonna hold us back from seeing the start of this grand finals, or at the very least map one, for just a little bit longer. But how about the Hamilton Southeastern composition? It looks like they're,
Mhm.
aside from the Reina, which is like the polar bear in Arlington, Texas, or I guess San Antonio in this case, it is the original Ascent comp
Mhm.
that that you see out of most pro teams circa like 2023. And
Mhm.
now throwing a little Reina into the mix to bring into the modern age. It'll be interesting to see how well this comp still holds up. I mean, all these characters still great, so it'll be cool to see them run a few of those regular set plays that we know and love.
Yeah, super, super classic. And as I say that, we see a classic on our screen. We're into the game, are we? Okay, never mind. That's why we had a delay, because someone crashed. Yep, that is a,
Yeah.
yep. I wish the technology was easier, but alas, in 2026, it is not. Things are expensive. Hardware is expensive. I don't know how new these machines are, but it's difficult to replace things right now. I know myself. I'm trying to get an upgrade, and it is going to completely break my bank. So pray for me, I
Y-
guess. But yeah,
As
we're
long
gonna
as you're not
take
getting
some
a RAM
time.
stick.
It's dude, memory. Holy crap! I remember back in the day when I bought my RAM, like back in like 2016, like
Yeah.
16 gigs for $50.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
Man.
surely things get cheaper in the near future. And now it's like 3 times more expensive. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. Thank you, technology.
Yeah, it's great. Well,
Hmm.
we love a nice little shortage, and seemed like it was a PC shortage happening over there.
Hmm.
So we're gonna have to wait
Don't
for
tell me
them.
two players crashed. Another back.
Oh really?
I think they're in. The
I
pings
mean,
were
on the
so
plus side.
stable that I was like, hold on a second. But no, they're moving now.
There we go. Well, on the plus side, no remake needed, so we won't have to wait through a round
Mm-hmm.
of Valorant.
Oh, there's a couple different issues that happened today as well. Thank goodness that we finished that last series when we did, because oh, not the series, the map, like, well, I think between map 1 and 2, the whole venue had a power outage. I don't even know how that can happen, but yeah, it was just in the nick of time. The power outage happened after the map finished, and before we started the next one. So a bit of a blessing, but yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't happen again. I don't know what's going on over there down in San Antonio, but hopefully the weather is all right. I just read that it's cloudy and it's going to be cloudy the whole day, but I just hope that there's no storms or anything like that, and just it stays cloudy.
Yeah, no, I think the only storm we're brewing right now is on the Ascent site, and maybe inside of one of those PCs. But
Hmm.
we can't speak too much on it. It's gonna be a slow start here, but I guess while we got the time, Anton,
Hmm.
it's God's most favorited map, the vanilla ice cream of Valorant, Ascent, coming onto our screens right now. And what do you expect out of these teams to really shake up especially WP Davidson? How are they looking to shake up their Ascent comp now that they're going against a much stronger opponent?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Like, the shake up, I think, is the best word. I think they're like the fact that they have this comp. Like, what is this comp? They have Teho. KO is the only normal agent here. It's like they stole the KO from Waves. because that was the only thing that could replace the arena on the other end of things to turn it into the exact OG comp on this map. But everything else is weird. Their Sentinel is a Veto. Their smokes are an almost said an Omen. Their smokes are a Brimstone. Their Senti, or excuse me, God, I can't even talk because I'm looking at all the agents and they're like, this don't make sense. But they have a Teo as their initiator, and their duelist is not a jet, but it's a waylay. Like it's almost, I guess, the same, but like also not even close. So it's just super interesting. I would think that Royals probably have never seen this comp before. I refuse to believe that this existed in the history of Valorant. So if anything, there's going to be 100% the element of surprise. But maybe that might not end up mattering when they can just shoot everyone in the face, because that's what HSE are doing. Every single time, they can just fire on all cylinders, fire all the weapons. A lot of damage being done on every single member out here outside the B site, and HSE FZL, what a name. Is this going to clean up every single one of them with a headshot?
I think it might be Fizzle, how that's supposed to be said, and it looks like he's starting to he's starting to burn up that WP Davidson squad, and they go down without much of a fight. I'm hoping that everybody's still connected here. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna go for a reset.
Harm. Another tech pause. Well, this is what it. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder if we could. We don't really have too much communication from the venue, so I'm not entirely sure how everything's being set up over there in terms of PCs and if they're replacing a computer or whatever. Okay, apparently they are literally swapping a PC. I don't know. Are we talking to a producer right now? Are we allowed to go to a break? Yeah, we are. Okay, so we're gonna take a few minutes to get a PC swapped out. Hopefully, after that, it won't be too much of an issue. Once we get some technology in and out. So yeah, without further ado, we'll throw it to a quick little break. But when we come back, we'll have the grand finals for you guys. HSC Royals versus Davidson Wingmen, and we'll see how far this goes. All right, we are back. PC swapped out, and we hope that this issue doesn't happen again. Let's pray for our technology. Come on, let's have our computers work. We're gonna actually reset the game because I think the problems happened so early in the last round that we're just gonna try it again, yeah, so have it not affect the actual outcome of the round. Not entirely sure if it would have, but we're gonna get another chance anyways. Another seemingly strong B hit coming out from Davidson once more. We'll see if they commit to this. It looks like they are going to, because everyone is outside B with the trip from the veto, just watching over that link. And this is still going to be a two-man hold over here from HSC Royals. Next going to go out, tag Elise, Fizzle. We'll go with it for now. A couple pot shots being hit from the other side of things. This time, the KJ is drawn a little bit further back on the site. Gets taken out completely. A lot better of the situation now for Davidson Wingman.
Yeah, they're off to a great start. Fizzle no longer able to fully control that round, but here comes Pip on the flank. James able to take him down though. And another goes down for Hamilton Southeastern. Retake begins, however. Most on that site as Starry peeks a little bit too wide, will get put down. At least kill a back site, but are they ready for Bojangles, who's close? No! Bojangles able to take down Waves. And now turns goes down as James gives himself a 2K, and Bojangles able to finish it out. Two 2Ks from the side of WP Davidson, and that's the start that they were looking for.
That's definitely a lot better of a start than before. A flawless round for HSC, turning into 3 left alive for Davidson in that previous. I don't know if that is entirely because of the reset or either entirely because of the reconnect, but nonetheless, it is what it is. Davidson with a round, and the anti-eco coming out now with a bunch of sheriffs on the other end of things. Even still, it's just like first round, it doesn't really matter, I guess. HSC are really confident with their own aim, so they're going to be stacking 3 outside this B this time. The solo alert for Davidson over towards A with the veto. Snow with a bunch of 6 shooters inside B main, so far not landing the shots they need to get these frags. And 2 of these members that are stacking this B site already been eliminated. Waves up next. With a single hit to the body and first player that enters. Killing out, taking out real low, all the way down to 0. Wave still stuck back site. Somehow find his lodge in. The utility comes through with the kill, even more. And Waves still left alive, but now finally taken out by Bojangles, as continuing their success from both the maps that we've seen here today. He needs to do a lot for their team to follow up in this round, because he's the only one without a gun. Pip has even recovered one of the Guardians that dropped at their teammates' feet. And is on for the 1v2 with the Jet. No utility, no dash, no movement. Still not exposed though. That flash doesn't give info. He didn't make a step, so they still have no idea where he is. And James gets first contact, tagged down real damn low. So it really does have to be Bojangles. One-on-one, and Pip is not going to look that direction. Bojangles has 4 with a 6 shooter in the round.
Pip almost able to pull that one from the jaws of feet right there, but just not clearing out that corner. And you know, that is the spot where you know, you see most irons play, but they say low level ideas are high level mix-ups. So they're able to get themselves a second round, and now much needed lead against this Hamilton Southeastern team, who are not necessarily all too downtrodden after going down big here. Well, not big.
They're doing all right. They have a bunch of half farmers right now, which is Davidson hasn't really taken advantage of that. There's no outlaw in their arsenal, even after losing a couple of different members in the previous round. So they're gonna hope that these rifles can take them across the finish line here. Sorry, upgraded gun. Someone else is an SMG. He locks it down, and Lou alongside. Just stereo hold for this A site. That's all she wrote. 1 member left alive, but it's gonna be James. He has to pretty much quadruple his kill count in order to win the round, and so far there's nothing to be had for the side of Davidson.
Man, and Hamilton Southeastern, especially Pip, just holding down that site. They, again, not losing that confidence. They are more than sure of their ability to put down this WP Davidson squad in any regular gunfight that they get into. It's just a matter of making sure that they guess right, which looks like they might not here on this upcoming round. They got a stack on B, but the heavy flow is coming over to that A site. It's gonna be a big execution over there.
How fast is it gonna be? Because it looks like they're gonna go for a mid split. Lou gonna be looking out already. Very confident. Okay, that's a fast shot. Holy,
Oh,
not
man,
even close.
that's a huge kill for Lou right there. Now WP Davidson will have to back off and figure out a new workout plan for how they're going to get themselves onto a site. And it looks like it's going to be walking into that stack in mid.
Oh, that's a trip and a half. I could definitely shoot that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they dare walk into that smoke, it's going to be trouble, but Waves loves trouble, has no problem with it. Killer able to take down one. She'll get free over in Sub Rosa, but will go down with the bomb.
Mid.
And now just a lone Bojangles with a flash to his name and a pip on his back. He'll die to Lou instead. Just like that, we're back even.
These guys are real good. Their shots are crispy. Lou starting it off, closing off the round as well. Top of the scoreboard for the side of HSC Royals. And he is on the Omen, no less. Might not be the most important to stack up all these ult orbs, but it's definitely nice to see your controller having this kind of fragging power. And everyone else not really needing just yet to activate. But now is probably the time where it's a big buy round for both teams. No one's on the eco. Everyone has full armor, full rifles. There's even 2 ults on the board for HSC Royals, but maybe the lowest impact ults in the game. We'll see how much Waves can do with his Empress. Already popped at the start of the round, but they're going to be looking towards Pip on the side of Davidson. A knife is not going to land, so Pip is still going to have full utility to work with. 1 smoke, an updraft, and a dash. The rest of the team already made their way over pretty much. There's an Omen here to help him out with the Paranoia, and the Sova with the darts. Held on the flank is this Reyna, so there's nowhere for Davidson to go. They have to really commit to this site, and they have a minute to do so, which is plenty of time. Still, Pip, as well as his teammates, have done so well so far holding this A site. And Turns continues that form with Erebus taken out from the GP. And more dinks and more headshots. Turns follows up with a couple. Pip also helps him out just a little bit. And the flank actually gets dismantled, but not much longer for this rule, surely. Bojangles is only able to find 2, and that's all they get.
Hamilton Southeastern team has just been really running down and taking advantage of the fact that those wingmen aren't necessarily all too interested in pushing the site when they know that there are some shooters waiting behind the smokes. So it's just been Hamilton Southeastern taking advantage of that timing and going for the crunches.
In this kind of round as well, where they don't really have too much to work with in terms of economy. It is as much of a force as they could possibly afford. There is an outlaw. This round is probably not the best to have it in, but at least they managed to take out Lou. Stays a little bit too long, is not able to refract or anything because he's not on a duelist. So that's exactly what happens when you go for those aggressive plays when you're on a controller. So they lose their smokes. How much more is Pip? Recovers on the other end of the map. That's the lurk gone from Erebus. And already a flank from Turns. He's fast up mid. The flash is great, and he lines him up.
Enemy remaining.
And the last kill goes towards the Sova 2. 4 rounds for Royals, and they're making it look easy now.
Yeah, that was just beautiful execution right there. They get the early pick mid, got Lou, and that from that point, you'd think that the round would get a little bit harder for Southeastern Hamilton. I mean, for Hamilton Southeastern, but no, they just continue on and get themselves into great positions to take space and just take the space that Davidson's been giving them.
It's tough because, like, usually when you kill a smoker, the problem is you can't get on the site because there's no place to, like, I don't know, you can't, like, prevent the enemies from getting on the site because you can't just put a vision block at the door entrance. But it doesn't really matter when you're behind the enemies anyways, so you're literally in their spawn. It's kind of tough to prevent them from getting on site. And right now, at least there's a bit of a success rate for Davidson coming into this B. They're going to try to hit it again, and this time a little bit better with the ultimate on the KO. Trade 1 for 1, getting back into it. And Waves now spots out the player inside lane, but Starry, more than ready for that fight, is able to remove the Reyna, but drops off. Let's Pip take that engage. And Starry is still ready for that one too. Erebus follows that one up. And now it's all down to Lou. Has gotten the most kills for their team so far, but cannot add on to that tally. Starry with 3 in the round.
The wingmen get themselves onto that ace B site in a hurry, and it looked like Hamilton just ended up being a little bit too overzealous. Everyone decided to take a one, and unfortunately, nobody was better. So they Wingmen able to get themselves on the board and stop the 4 round skid rather that they've been under.
Still guns for both teams because of how clean HSC has been taking all these rounds. Another mid fight. I'm surprised that Starry is still confident enough to take this duel against Lou, because Lou has been winning it most of the time. And now Lou is getting a little bit antsy as well, so maybe showing some respect the other way. Still going for some jump peaks, making sure that no one can walk out in the mid for free, and they confirm that with 2 different kills through mid, through Cat, and also through B main. Killa the only one to find any success with a headshot the other direction, leaving James in a 1-on-4. With a gun on the other end of the doors to pick up, but they're gonna spot him. Now he's stuck in the corner. Where can he go? Paranoia's gonna come through, and that shot's gonna be easy for Waves.
My goodness, they just collapse on the guy. They hit an FBI siege on the poor fella as soon as they see him cross tiles. And I mean, we saw Starry during the last set that got them into the grand finals just peak mid with no regard for the lives on the other end of his gun, and it worked out very well. But we're not seeing that same sort of success here on a set against Hamilton Southeastern.
Yeah, it really does seem like this team might be his kryptonite. The fact that all the players in the Royals are so proficient. I mean, what did he? I don't even think he saw a player. I think he just spammed. I think he just put his crosshair on catwalk and just shot. Very nice crosshair placement for turns. Wants to get some more, but it's Lou to follow that up, and he lines up a couple. Erebus has made his way past him, but he has no bullets. No one has any ammo. Pip is going to clean up. And that is a quick round again for the side of the Royals.
You know, if that isn't a great example of how things have been going for the Wingmen so far, with Erebus in a fantastic spot, but just ran out of bullets, and from that point, he doesn't even get a kill, just is harmlessly put down in tree. And another round going the way of Hamilton Southeastern. It's just been unlucky so far for these Wingmen, mixed in with a little bit of bad positioning that's caused them to get crunched everywhere.
If there's any round to win, it would as well be, well, not this one. I'm not even sure how they're talking right now. I don't know if the mental is starting to shatter or what, but not entirely sure how the comms are going, because look at the buy. There's a rifle in Killa's hands. There's a rifle in Starry's hands. And everyone else is sticking with those pistols, with Erebus being the only one to have bought one. There's a bandit that will get removed by turns. No damage in return. Everyone else looking towards this A site. At least they do find the entry. But that dart not shot out. Hold on. There's a trade. Killa continuing her form from yesterday. One of the only players to have any form of fragging success in their match against HSC the day prior. Finds that spike plant. Ultimate in hands for double players. But Killa now gets taken out, so that orbital strike is not able to be used. Final one, down in hell. Getting spammed. They don't quite know. They're just guessing. Waves has a good read on it, but decides better than to keep spamming for that one. But I think at this point, they've spotted the feet of James. And that is all she wrote. 7 rounds for HSC.
Watch your toes there. They are sniffing them out, and Hamilton Southeastern just continuing to roll here. It's just been Davidson finding themselves onto these sites, but the timings are just so good from Hamilton Southeastern, and it's just been a bloodbath every time they get onto these sites. But still got themselves. Yeah, actually, you know, they seemed like they were all right to force those guns earlier. Everyone's got a rifle now.
4 ults. This will be the round. Lockdown on the defense, though, makes this a little bit tougher, but the lockdown isn't quite available just yet, unless they send this rotate over, which they are. ZL is coming real fast, but they have to actually get on the site and get the kills to begin with, and they have done that.
There it is.
Killa and Starry stereo frags to get onto A. And this lockdown is going to be committed, and Erebus takes the initiative and pushes up into heaven, takes out the KJ and the lockdown. brilliant stuff. They might have had a little bit of a miscom there because they actually expend the orbital strike as well to try and take it out, but nonetheless, it's fair. It's fair. It's good enough because Turns is left in a 1v5. Make that a 1v3. Should still be not doable, but there hasn't been very much damage done the other way. A lot of utility still, though, with the tail ult, with this waylay. Now with the tap, they know exactly where he is. He's just waiting for anyone that might potentially take the bait, but that timing is great from Starry. Nerves of steel. And the Molly, I'm not entirely sure if that's the
Last
lineup they're
round
going
before
for.
the
Maybe she
switch.
notices it now. But yeah, nicely done from Davidson to at least pull it back a little bit closer.
That's where it starts. You know, just get yourselves a great execute. They're able to send out. You know, they're finally starting to treat that smoke like it's not a wall, and everyone realizes, hey, I can actually run through this thing with some util to boot, which has been the great equalizer right here. These dry swings really haven't been working out too well for the wingmen, but another round one, and hopefully using all that firepower to good use, but Turns able to get one, over get traded out by Starry.
It's important that the Vito was the person that took all the damage during that second engage for that trade because he's able to heal up everyone, or I say everyone himself, but he can't manage to get the second frag though. FZL takes him out with a headshot, so the health is irrelevant,
Down, B.
but still left on the site. This KJ is locking it down, literally, and he can't quite finish the job because he runs out of ammo. We've seen that a couple times too, but James now left in a 1-on-2 does manage to find his way onto the spike site. Waves can't finish the job just yet. Paranoia now in hands. I don't think he wants to actually throw it out. He does! Finally, with the DP is still good. James whiffs a big shot there to lose out on that 2v1.
That was so
Switching
scary for a
sides.
second. We saw Lou getting a little overzealous, trying to almost hit a clip or something. But yeah, able to close it out is it was just unfortunate shooting by James. But you know, we saw that early kill into the B site, and Davidson was able to get on, but Fizzle showing that everyone is 1 HP if you shoot them in the head. So it really was big on Fizzle to get those 3 kills to keep that round completely in favor of Hamilton Southeastern. They get another one on the board.
That's crazy performance by every single member on the side of the Royals. And he wasn't even positive. I think he, like, the KJ was the only person that was negative KD before that round, and now he's more than positive. He's done so much for them. On the other side of things, not really much you can do with the KJ on the flank, because that utility doesn't reach that far anymore. The turret has a limit in terms of how far it can shoot. So he's going to put it top mid pretty much to watch their immediate flank. And he finds a couple players inside a tree. The defense now know that he's on this lurk. Doesn't know how many, but he is alone. It might be enough because the rest of his team is making their way onto the site itself. The defense, though, is so smart. Killa with 3 kills so far, on for a 4th perhaps, catching Turns in the corner, and Turns has to get out of dodge. Does so successfully, but Pit goes down alongside. Now it's all down to the Sova in a 1-on-3. Definitely can make it happen. He has done worse things before, but this time can't find that first one, and Killa with quad kill in the round. The only ace denied because his teammate got a kill in the middle of it, but she does so much to maintain their position in this map.
I really love that little fake setup that Bojangles and Killa had in Tree. Bojangles catching all of the aggro and just set up Killa to get those first 2 frags, and then she is able to clean up the round for WP Davidson. And a match that was starting to fall out of favor for the wingmen is starting to slowly shift back. They're only down 3 here and on the anti-eco.
Careful the sheriffs, though. 14 frags, you can see it on Turns' gun. Looking to stack that number up a little bit higher, and Killa knows that. So with that jump peak spawning out, I think at least 2 players. Jet and the Sova. Just going to be dropping back here with the SMG. Still decent at close range. She moves a little bit, can throw off the aim of the sheriffs. Going nice and slow and methodical, and it pays off. Pip with the crouch headshot on Killa is responded upon by Bojangles, but there is a Spectre dropped inside short. If they're willing to go take the risk to pick it up, but maybe they don't need to, because Turns has found a hole. He's walked all the way through mid. And no one from Wingmen seemed to be understanding that they have left
Nobody
this
knows.
gap in their defenses. James now is going to get backstabbed, literally and metaphorically. And Starry now needs to worry about two different angles. That is a stunning shot from Starry, but he gets
Last
deleted
player
in
standing.
kind from Waves. And it's still a 1-on-2 from FZL. They somehow recover after that insertion from HSC Royals. What an attempt from that attack.
How did they get away with that? It was James literally walking through spawn, buying their guns, and able to get a backstab in the process. Great on Davidson for knowing to, or turns rather, inside of their spawn buying guns. Great on Davidson for still being able to lock in and not lose to the space that they gave up.
Sorry, a big part of the success in that round. If he didn't end up getting that flick onto the player coming back through spawn, that would have been a disaster. They kept it all right, even though he lost his life towards the end. Now the money, because of that, isn't the best. So Bojangles is going to be left on still a Sheriff, caught at the back of the A site. They haven't quite discovered him just yet, so he's going to go peek out and get a kill. Oh, he's done more than enough, I think. 4-on-4 for the retake. This spike is going to get planted. Not much that can stop it. No ults or anything. Well, for just a second.
Lou,
but
going for a
Lou,
third.
He's up in heaven. How is he up here? He's working his own way all the way up through tree, up through garden. Found 3 different kills. Now Erebus, the only one to take him down, needs to take down the rest of his team as well. With that spike planted, 2 people up in heaven, everyone's watching their angles. Expectedly. Not expecting Erebus on the left side, but turns, makes that adjustment, and secures that frag. 9 now for HSC Royals.
Anton, what do you do when they give you space? You just continue taking space. Lou found a opening up heaven. Well, less an opening, more some victims to go prey on, as they went and got 2 and tried to continue the aggression. And that's really just been the HSC game plan, is abuse the fact that this Wingman team is a little scared and continue to show them reasons to be fearful.
I wouldn't blame them for shaking a little in their boots at this point. The gun's not entirely the best, not the worst. There's a Guardian in the hands of James. Killa left with just the Spectre. But it is very, very slow from the Royals. Still, I really like to see this. Still showing their respect against a team that, hypothetically, they should be a lot better than. But they're playing when they're equal. They are definitely not looking like they are, because that is 3 clean kills for the side of the Royals. Right onto
Spike
that A
planted.
site in the midst of 20
One
seconds.
enemy remaining.
That makes it 4. Upsetto wanting to finish up the round completely flawlessly. Only damage being done onto a couple different members, but the plant's gone down, and every single member on Royals stands, while Wingmen cannot say the same.
Yeah, and another flawless round from HSE, continuing to push that aggression that they've had. And it really was just Killa all by herself on that site, hoping to hold it down, but the aggression just a little bit too strong, and those tree guys not able to do too much in the process either.
That was the problem. Marshall, Bucky, and then a bunch of handguns. Starry with the biggest weapon in this round. Misses the first shot, gets tagged down real darn low. 61 is not the health you want when you have a Marshall in your hands. Somehow gets out of dodge alive. They missed the wall bangs too. Very dangerous over that cross. And, okay. I guess when you don't see anyone, you can get the shot. But a TP to the back of B. How is he reading the fact that there's no one here? Not entirely sure. But he seems to want to full commit to this. Here's that drop. Erebus only has a shotgun, and that is so disgusting. What a poor guy there. I'm not even mad at the fact that he went for that. But that is just unfortunate. That's probably not going to be the thing that would make the difference in the round, considering that it is flawless anyways. But the Bucky nerf definitely did not help him out very much at the back of that site.
Shout out Raya for nerfing the shotguns a little bit. Even though it was heart-wrenching to see the Wingman go down in a flawless round like that, it's a price I'm willing to make. It's a price I'm willing to take. But Man, it just when things aren't going your way, Riot's gonna nerf your gun. It seems for the wingmen, so it's really gonna be hard for them to get back in rhythm.
Okay, side look. Okay, I thought it was going to be slow. I think it's a little bit quiet. There's only 2 people making footsteps, but Pip says, I don't care. I'm just going to walk in and shoot people in the face. Turn's going to do the same thing after Bojangles removes his teammate from the equation. But 11 rounds up to perhaps 12. Turns wants to save his head. And in fact, it doesn't matter because Starry lands the body shot towards the end of it. And right on the back, Lou can't quite make that transfer. Still doable, but Waves now can go up silent. And the TP bag, got a little bit tight, but yeah, Waves has got that at the end as well. 12 rounds in a very quick fashion for HSC Royals. That is the first map point that they have.
They've been rolling so far. You know, you get the first flanker, they never expect the second one. And it looked like Waves was ready to be that guy to get in the way of it. And now, with that kill by Waves, the entirety of HSE has gone into double-digit kills, none of them negative right now.
Man, I think that previous round really goes to show the prowess that HSE Royals really have. They're all hiding from that B. I don't know what could happen here. They think there might be a B crunch or whatever, but there's nothing. That's just the spike. It's another A show, so yeah, I mean, I don't blame Wingmen for completely biting on this bait because there have been a lot of very fast A site hits so far, and this time it's a complete sham. No one is here. B site completely taken by the entirety of the attack, and Pip has already found his way into defender spawn. We can see how much he loves these gunfights, and this time he pays for that with a lot of different health points. But Waves is going to follow up that damage with a full kill onto Killa. No molly, no smokes. He's going to keep going. He's going to keep walking forward. Wants some more action, and he's going to be looking the wrong way. So Erebus is able to remove Waves from the fight. But Pip still activated. Lou now also chiming in. Wants to take so many different fights. He's just completely online right now, and Turns finally turning for what might be the last one. But Erebus, with the evolution, is fully healed up. Needs to play Ring Around the Rosie. Not sure if he knows exactly where the opponent is, but only one bullet remaining that needs to land on Pip, and it's just not going to happen. HSC Royals with the first map of the Grand Finals.
My goodness, 13-0, not 0. Oh wait,
that's a bug.
correct?
That's been a bug
Yeah, I was like,
ever
that
since they
was
updated the UI.
Okay, because I was like, I swear they won some rounds. Like they put a few of them up, but it almost didn't even feel like it. HSE just steamrolling their way through this Ascent map, and it seems like the tried and true Ascent comp wins the day once again.
I mean, yeah, I think looking at each individual round as well, I don't even think we can say it's the comp. It's just HSC Rules are so good as a team, so good individually. Like, there is a degree on how much we casters can sugarcoat it, but when you get rounds like that towards the end where Pip just walks in through A, like without a care in the world, this guy is full W sprinting up into the site, and as soon as he sees a guy, he one taps him. As soon as he sees the next guy, he one taps him, keeps walking in the site, and he gets punished because he's looking the wrong direction. And then his teammate trades him out because that's how you be a good teammate. You trade your team. When you have players like that on Royals that are at that point, I was like speaking that they were respecting their opponents a little bit towards the start of it, and they were. And then it got to the point where it was like around 15, 16, that stopped. Pip was like, let's get this done with. And he walked in and shot people. And that's what Valorant is kind of. It's an FPS game. So if you're better at shooting your opponents, you're just going to win. That's just how it works. So hopefully for Davidson's sake, they can maybe warm up their own aim a little bit, because I think they're gonna have to do exactly that if they want to have a chance against the Royals, because everyone is just shooting on this team of Hamilton. And we're going to get to see if Davidson can bring us over to a map 3, or if we're going to end it right here and right now after this little break. We'll see you guys in just a bit. What started out as a decent back and forth between these two teams of the Wingmen and the Royals turned out to be a blowout towards the end of it as the Wingmen decided to, or the Royals decided to just kick it into high gear and dismantle the Wingmen towards the end of Ascent. But that is one map for the Royals. They're going to have to get a second if they want to take the victory right here and now. Or the Wingmen can decide to take this and bring us over into a pearl of a chance at the crown. But that is still a ways away. That's a lot of struggle against a team like the Royals. And this time they're going to be starting off on that defensive side, trying to stave off the attack from the Royals. Well, it's going to be on the map of Haven. And for this one, because of the fact that, well, I don't know if we talked about the way the map veto worked, is because it is grand finals, it is upper bracket advantage for the side of the Royals. They did have two separate map picks, so Haven and Ascent are both their choices. The side selection was from the Waymen, so the fact that they're on the defense is of their own accord. A little bit surprising to me, but nevertheless, that is where we stand right now. So once again, for the what might be the last time, my name's Anton, joined here by Mob. This is map number 2 of the grand finals between the Davidson Wingmen versus Hamilton Southeastern Royals. And we're going to get into it into Agent Select. Here we go. As we see Pip with that in-select jet once again. Oh, so scary on that Agent.
Yeah, he's been terrifying so far. I believe he almost went for 25 kills on that Ascent map, and after a while he just started swinging with little to no worry about who was on the other side of his gun. It just eventually just frying anyone in his way. And that's what you don't want to see if you're the Davidson Wingman, is when you start seeing the other team start swinging you like they know that they're gonna win. Because if they're swinging with no fear in their heart, then they've got no problems defeating you. And at that point, you just need to either prove them right or prove them wrong. And from then on, it becomes a very quick match.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the thing that you could have done before like this latest update is if you have a person like that that just doesn't give a crap, you just get out a judge and then you make them cry. But unfortunately, all the shotguns did get hit pretty hard lately. So having the people with the confidence to do that on the Royals to just walk into your faces without a care in the world, there are not that many options to stop it right now. If they're going to keep the shotguns in a state like they are, I'm not going to say it's bad that they nerfed them. I think it's good. I think the shotguns did not really have too much of a place in this game. But it is really unfortunate for Wingmen. They have to make sure that they are as on point with their shots, as on point with their teamwork, with their utility usage, as Royals are, with just that first little point. Like they all, I'm not going to say the rest of their aspects are bad on the side of the Royals, but I'm going to say that based on their individual prowess, I don't think they need the rest of their aspects to be good because of how well they're shooting right now. FZL, Pip, Lou, especially Lou. It's on the Omen again. Never seen an Omen. Well, I'm not going to say never, but it's been a while since I've seen a controller that has been fragging as aggressively as Lou. And I guess that's why they're playing the Omen and not someone like the Brimstone or the Clove, because this is the controller that you want when you are a playmaker. And Lou is absolutely a playmaker. And we're going to see that right now because he's going to TP in first, right down that short. And Bojangles is going to spot out a lot of attention towards that A. And I don't know if they're going to call people over, but they certainly need some help over here.
Yeah, we're finally seeing those late rotates Ibris on his way to help out, but the util coming through and Bojangles already hit half. The dash out from Pip is going to be dangerous. Immediately puts down Bojangles. And now the bloodbath's beginning. James finally able to stop the bleeding a little bit. 3v3 here on the site as James goes down 2v2. This now just leaves Starry and Killa. Great shot by Starry to put down turns and gets the bomb down as well. Starry dashes in, gets the finish out, and now WTE Davidson getting themselves a round win and a big pistol to start off this game.
That's a really impressive recovery too. I thought towards the start when they were able to get the picks on the site from HSC to open it up, I thought maybe, oh, that's just another fast site take coming up from the Royals. Same thing that we saw on Ascent pretty much every round towards the end of it. But Wingmen instead, they come out with those nice shots from the final two players, especially Starry taking the head off. If I'm correct, it was Turns holding that spawn angle. And that might have been the linchpin to end up winning that round for them. 2 people left alive. They bring the Marshal, or not the Marshal, no, even better. They bring the Outlaw into the next round. Maybe not quite needed. Maybe the Marshal would have actually been, in hindsight, better, but they would have never known that there are no armors invested from the side of the Royals. Instead, it's a bunch of pistols And everyone just trying to walk in to kill his face with a bunch of utility. Flash is going to go through. Paranoia is great, but the Flash, Erebus flashes himself. Drops a gun there for a recovery from one of the attackers, but at least Starry is still towards the back of the C site, able to recover yet another frag. But there is a Spectre that's been picked up in the hands of Lou, and this guy, we know how much he can do if he has a weapon in his hands.
Spike down.
Turns though,
C.
turns a little bit too far into Garage.
One enemy
There's another
remaining.
shot hit by Starry. Lou hiding in the corner. Whether they will check him or not, that's the question, and it doesn't look like they will, but Starry's still ready for it. Reacts to it in time, and that's a quad kill for the Jet over on the defense.
And Starry able to hold down that garage push, and we're seeing it in these first few rounds, even though it was their eco just then, that Hamilton Southeastern hasn't really been able to take as much space as they would like to, and that's really been the linchpin that's made the difference in between these two teams, especially in that Ascent map, was just the sheer amount of space that HSE was able to take. Davidson is able to limit that so far, and now they've got 2 rounds on the board to show for it.
Still a bit of danger for the side of Royals, though. There is, of course, still this Outlaw towards the end of C-Long. The first engage is going to be the Chamber with full armor, so that gets taken away. He's at least still alive, and that's the most important thing when you consider a game of Valorant. 5 players on the site. Plant getting confirmed by the Sova over towards Long. Now towards the flank, there is also the Chamber watching. There should be a very solid hold from these HSE Royals members, but that flash is beautiful! Killa is able to secure at least one frag towards the back of the site, and another flash from Erebus. He's been doing so much for them in terms of utility, but the health is down so low. Erebus sitting at basically 1 bullet left of HP, but the trade comes out. That is what matters. Bojangles securing that headshot. Now everyone on the server is low health. And the Seas is going to confirm that. Wave sitting at only 1. What a retake coming out from the wingman. That's 3 in a row. Pistol in a bonus.
That's a big bonus for these wingmen. Now able to get themselves a big 3-round lead and keeping Hamilton Southeastern poor for just a little bit longer. That's gonna be huge. And once again, just the amount of space that Davidson's been able to deny from Hamilton Southeastern in these post-plant situations has turned out to be what they needed.
Half armors yet again. And once more we see Starry drop the Outlaw in favor of a rifle, which, okay, I get it. You really must think that if you end up losing members in the previous round, it might end up be worth it, saving that extra little buck to have an advantage into rounds like these where you know your opponents are going to be on lower armors. Pick is the only one on full armor because he has the blades to work with, but there goes the knife, takes the blades away for now. Has a couple seconds where he has to perhaps make something happen with only the pistol. But they're just gonna wait and try and drive out this vice wall, which has been done. But this is going to be an A commit. Erebus, can he make these flashes happen yet again? First one's gonna miss because it's gonna land in the smoke, but he at least has the shots onto Pip on the jet. First one gets taken out, but it flashes the other way around. Starry and Erebus both get killed on the site, and Killa needs to try and hold their own ground, but can't do so for very much longer. Site under
planted.
attacker control.
Last player
Plant gone down, and a shot hit by Waves on a James up in heaven. Now is a big problem. Health taken down quite low. Excuse me, Bojangles still taking to the bullet after that. Not entirely sure how that ended up happening, but a bullet is all they need when it hits the head. Waves has 2 of those in the round, is going to be able to recover no weapon, maybe not the weapon, but at least the round win for the Royals.
Yeah, another big round for, a big round for the Royals as they're able to stop the bleeding for just a little bit. That was a little bit scary heading to the very end of that round. They had waves and turns on low HP, so very winnable, but beautiful crossfire able to make sure that they were able to secure it.
Waves of shots online these last couple rounds. Another A look after a few pieces of utility thrown towards that B. It baits out a smoke from the Omen. Only 1 left to defend this A site, and it seems like it's going to be faster. They're not going to let this Omen recharge that second smoke. James has to just try and make this position work, and he's just going to get deleted by FZL coming onto the site. And that's already site under control. Plant's going to go down in the default position. CL trying to make his way into the corner as a high-low, smart by the defense of the wingmen, but not dead yet. Now finally confirmed. Starry puts him in the ground for the second time, and the flash is yet again flawless. Turns is full blind twice. You can't see a thing. Killa finds him. Pip, though, holds it down from hell, and apparently he's the demon to keep HSC Royals alive in the round, and Killa needs to back all the way out. Can't even decide to punish, even though Pip is low HP. Now the crossfire is going to be in play. Killa has to try and get around the corner, and Pip doesn't even need to see the vision to be able to take out the final player. HSC with a second.
Oh my goodness, Pip activated for 4 kills in that round. A huge 3K from hell to make sure that the retake gets stalled for as long as possible. And I couldn't believe it. He was one bullet away from one bullet in that original clip from being able to get the 4K with no issues at all whatsoever. And it's just another huge round for HSC. And these are the type of rounds that players like Pip, like Fizzle, like Turns have just been able to pull out of a hat to make sure that, and when everything goes bad, they're able to just get one anyway.
Yeah, it'd be rough if this is where it ends for the side of the wingmen as well. If 3 is where Royals decide to absolutely turn up. That last round should have all been wingmen's all day, but Pip is going to be the X factor for the side of the Royals, making sure that no matter what, they are able to succeed in all of their goals and wishes. And he's going to keep pushing forward. He just wants as much action as he can get. His teammate helps him out a little bit, and the dash is able to keep him alive for yet another fight, and he goes for it. No ace, just because that teammate ended up helping. Fizzle is going to be the one to steal that away, but Royals are just looking indomitable because of Pip alone.
Man, and it's a scary sight when Pip starts to get confident. 13 and 4, 2 4Ks over the last 2 rounds, and it's been the equalizer, and now it doesn't even feel like it's 3-3 right now. With Pip still alive, it's like every round is just always possible for Hamilton Southeastern, and they're starting to get more comfortable and starting to take a lot more of that space. When that's happening for HSE, then the Royals are looking to take their spot on the King's share.
Shots heard by Bojangles. I mean, he knows that at least there's someone down this C long. Doesn't entirely know how many or who, but that will reveal the fact that Pip is over here. I don't know where the dash is. I think that body block just for a second. So everyone vacates. Very, very wise from the wingman's side. Plant going down yet again. Doing his job. Turns, getting the plant down every single round. And if they need to, they do have a Hunter's Fury. But Pip is sitting here backside. They haven't quite spammed him out yet. He's still here, still holding this angle. And the shotgun is going to be what tries to dislodge him from that position. But it's just not going to work. Erebus is going to fall to the ground. And Starry, the only one to find a kill so far, has to do a lot more, but instead he's going to go down as well. And James called upon in this 1 versus 2. Teammate's not going to spot very much, but Turns now sitting in the corner is just going to catch him way off guard. 4 now, and Royals in the lead for the first time in Haven.
Yeah, and how quickly they came up with that lead. 4 straight rounds on the backs of 13 kills from Pip, and not to mention the rest of the team still picking up the slack whenever Pip isn't able to just run in and kill everybody. Just great space, great util usage, and even better positioning for this Royal squad.
Shotgun in hand from Erebus over towards that A site.
Scanning ahead.
Exactly where you need to use it too. If he can find himself inside a smoke or something to guarantee some short-range fights, might actually pay off over here, because this is where the entirety of the attack is heading towards. Chamber trip at their back just to make sure they don't get flanked so quickly. But Erebus over here with the judge. That's exactly what you want to be doing, exactly where you want to be playing. And now that they know, they still got to commit. Apparently they so, because Pip just doesn't care. But he does get traded immediately. And with this TP from the Omen, it's going to get instantly canceled as well. So not quite going to have a free round on the other end of the map. And Erebus makes sure of that. Fizzle also goes down. And the TP countered by the other Omen. And Killa's gonna make her way over into Garage with that from the shadows. Starry now at the back of the site can decide to stop this plant. Blue though, is not quite done with it yet. It still sticks it, waves his full blind, does get taken out towards the end, and Killa is gonna be the one to close out that round, keeping it close even still.
Yeah, that was important to force that rotate from the Royals to force them to try and go to that B side. And shout out to Killa for being able to just stall that push for a little bit longer, and the counter ult which doesn't see too much value. Finally showing that it can work out from the shadows.
Great positioning from the defense to end up being able to pinch up Royals,
So dead.
and not allow them to have too much of a heyday around the entire map. Dart throw up A, make sure that no one from Wingman actually plays up forward. Waves though with a big miss. Now Starry with a little bit of information. Not seeing the jet though. I would admit, I think seeing Pip somewhere on the map is probably the thing that you have to be worried about. Everyone else is just a little bit of a nuisance. That one as well. Spots the Omen. But here comes the next up. It is going to be the jet walking up towards that B site.
And got a mean crossfire. Ibris, wise on their plans, knows what's gonna go down. Blue TP's on the site, and they'll get spotted. Oh, that's unfortunate. Messes up the molly right there. They'll get a flash off, but most of that damage done to themselves.
Oops.
And they're Starry, able to close it out. And now getting Pip is James. 3v4 as the retake begins, but Fizzle, great shot. Might get two here. Will, as the Hunter's Fury comes through and Fizzle, a Hunter themselves. Gonna try and finish it out. Volvo and the dart to go as well. No chance for Killa stuck inside a spawn. She'll go down, and another round goes the way of the Royals.
And that one proves that even if Pip does fall, the rest of the team is able to handle that victory.
Now we win.
The top frag's death. Bladestorm ready, and he will invest into this round, even though his teammate is at 8 grand. Okay, there you go. Turns buys for loot. That's exactly what needed to
there it
happen.
is. Yeah, I was like, are we really rocking it? Or maybe if Pip's feeling like that, you know, do what you must.
They're that confident. Seen it before. They're still.
No,
they
we'll
show
pop
a little
you
bit
anyway.
of respect at least. So, let's see. Oh,
It does not.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe if he.
It didn't.
He's gonna go forward.
Oh!
That's beautiful. Finds the
Spike
gun,
down
finds the
A.
spike, wants to go even further, but James, big miss, big miss. First one needed to hit if he was gonna get that kill. And Fizzle turns around and finds Erebus once more. Starry barely recovers with the Bladestorm to maintain the fact that he has knives, but now needs to land the headshot. Lou with the TP. Starry knows that he's close now. Misses yet another blade. That was a bit of an issue. He has no weapon to work with. Needs to try and smoke for himself to get that stinger on the ground, but Lou spots it out right in the middle of that gap.
I have the spike.
2-on-2 with the spike. And HSE can go anywhere. They have the information on at least one of the players on the site of A. So they know that no matter where they hit at this point, it will be a weak site. And the wingmen don't know whether someone else has lurked all the way up or not, or if that's both players that have recovered that spike. So they have to go slow all across the map,
30 seconds
which
left.
allows Royals to get exactly where they would want to be, over towards that C, able to get in any kind of post-plant
Spike
position they
planted.
want. And it looks like they're just going to stick here. They don't know where the wingmen have gotten off to either, and they're not going to take that gamble. So the smoke on the default spot just to split up the site itself so that neither player can help each
enemy
other.
remaining.
But Waves is good enough on the shot by themselves. That's all you need is double headshots from Waves.
You know, that's really just that set play coming into work. Do you know, Davison is so aware of how much space the Royals have been taking this entire map. So they were like really slow on that rotate, making sure that they clear everything out. And right when they're looking for the unconventional angle, it's Waves sitting right there watching CT from its most common angle.
And down below is where wingmen hope that they are not going to be placed. These Royals are not looking to let up on the pressure. 5 outside A once more. With 2 defenders. Killa is here. Paranoia is not going to be able to go out in time. But TP, I don't know where that goes to, but apparently it pays off. Wall is going to trap Pip on the site, trap everyone else off. And that TP is once again going to put her in a good spot to make something else happen towards that long. The Paranoia is perfect. But the shots, they're not even close. But they are for Royals, because everyone lands their kills. 4 left alive after that initial engage. And somehow they come out way on top of that round.
Unlucky. Killa sees two perfectly good kills. She's unable to get either of them. That's one of those rounds you just gotta flush. Can't worry about it. But man, that's one that she probably wants back.
That one's tough. I mean, I would hope that doesn't weigh on your mental too much, but the fact that you are being disrespected at this degree from the Royals, I think it's pretty easy to see in the server when your opponents are just not showing you respect that you deserve. But that one's gonna be quite tough. Like that was a round winner right there, and instead
Yeah.
it turns the other way. Wingman now with a bit of a broken bye, but Killa is gonna actually make up for it. Walking down that B is gonna remove Lou from the equation. That's the smokes on the other end of things. They still have, actually, I just realized this. I didn't clock this when we first got in the map. They have a double smoke setup. They have Clove Omen. Why? I don't know. But it's definitely going to prove pretty useful right now because FZL gets that nice kill on Astari. Killa, though, responds yet again. Now picks up the weapon for an upgrade. And Steel Garden drives everyone else off of B in through window. There's still another player there, and they don't want to fight Pip. They know that Pip might be trapped in the corner, but he is way too dangerous to be trifled with. So they actually smoke him off instead of try and duel him. And everyone else running back towards that A.
Corner dog bites hard. Oh my
Even
goodness.
harder.
Yeah, Pip's definitely got the teeth. Gonna try and go get a third. Opts against it.
You are powerless.
There's a no command to begin the retake for Davidson. They're 2v3 and tons of work to do. There's some lines up, but man, it's no chance. Great kills from Turns and Pip. Both get it at the same time. They're all in sync right now, working, functioning like a well-oiled clock.
And that is rough to just getting dinked by a jiggle peek from Pip. Not very fun. Now they're down half the rounds of their opponents, just like in the first map. Deja vu a little bit, but starting off on different sides. And this time, Wingmen on the preferred, over on the attack. This, theoretically, should be the side that is a little bit easier on a map like Haven, where no matter what site you hit, it's going to be even weaker than standard on a two-site map. But instead, Royals actually stack up a lot of players inside of B. 1-3-1. And I think they're probably going to go for a walk up here. Smoke's going to go up through window. Everyone else is going to slowly walk down that mid position. But instead, the Paranoia does go out from Killa and prevents their rest for just a little bit. But the shots go the other way. It's a trade 1-for-1. And a Paranoia is sent down as well. And everyone else from the defense making their way down to fight in this mid position. Spike being dropped. Attempted recovery and instant denial. Erebus in a 1-on-2. First kill is clean. Full HP to work with against Pip. With a Sheriff in hands, though. And this guy, the best man for the job, over on the side of the Royals. And he doesn't quite know exactly where Erebus is coming from. And the turn is not quick enough. The timing was just a millisecond off in his head. And Erebus lands that clutch.
I got your backs. Just,
Yeah, and
from the front.
Pip, one of the most dangerous guys in the server, if he's looking at you in that time, Erebus making sure that he is ordinary. Especially when you see the back of his head.
Not quite a chameleon.
Not quite. You know, do they actually have eyes in the back of their head? I heard it was
Some of
like
them
it's like a
do.
myth.
Some lizards do. Not maybe not chameleon. No, I got that wrong actually. Some lizards have not eyes, but light detecting sensors on the back of their head. It's really cool. You have to look it up.
Oh, neat.
Back of the game, it's quite fast. I mean, they're not slowing down. Wingmen are trying to push the narrative that they're the ones that deserve to end up winning this map towards the end of it. But even still, even after losing the first round and only having a pistol, Lou is not afraid of just walking down mid. He's got nothing to lose, right? All he's got is a classic, so you might as well try for something crazy, especially when you're still up 3 rounds. He's gonna have a very fast flank here, but by this time, Wingmen should be well aware of what's going on from this defense. And they do seem to know exactly where these defenders are coming from, but they still have to win these fights. Pip as well as Turns are 2 of the strongest members so far. And Pip does the turns. But the flash doesn't even matter. Health taken down real low. 6 points. Turn that to 0. And Starry closes out for 6 rounds for Wingmen. Only 2 away from tying it up.
They demand a fight. Who are we to
We were speaking about it
disobey?
earlier about this double smoke comp that HSC is running. These Royals have really been able to abuse the fact that they'll just smoke off the initial peak areas that being window and bot mid, and then they just kind of run out and do what they want. And then at that point, they still have the additional smokes for the site take. So once again, the Royals just using that to get as much space as they can, and hopefully, well, at this point, haven't been able to exchange that for round wins, but would soon be able to.
Something interesting has happened here. One, Lou has walked through the smoke, just killed Erebus. No fear. The second is that FCL, I think, forgot to buy. He has 3,100 in his bank, has bought half armor, and he has only a classic. And he's not Jet, not Neon, not Chamber. He's not a Clove. So I don't know if that's going to matter, but it has happened. Tip is going to do a lot of damage onto... Okay, that's Killer. So it might not end up mattering. It might be everyone else on the server just managed to make things work for them. But James does remove turns from the defensive side with the Outlaw. Some help from his team. Turns that gun into an operator. Still only a 4-on-4. And now is when Lou goes creeping. He's going to go up walking mid for the third round in a row. Finds himself at the bottom here. And he hears the rotations going all the way past. So he might have a massive timing here, especially on the Bojangles. There is no way I say that. He's so aware, but Lou, he just reacts in time. He's so fast.
30
Plant's
seconds
gonna go
left.
down. Lou has made
Spike
sure
planted.
that they have the man advantage extended by waves. 2 versus 4 now, and the flash is great. Blinded on sight. Pip blinds them up with James trying to dodge the bullets. And now 9 for Royals. Once again, we're at a 9-6 scoreline for the latter team.
Oh, was that important?
Yeah, and it's a repeat of what we've seen already. And the wingmen really need to get themselves another round here so they don't fall by the same score line. You know, once you see something different, that's when you can make the changes happen. And perspective is where miracles happen, you know? So this ever important round, make sure that they don't really start to begin the slide into a possible loss here on this Haven.
Let's go.
I think the slide would definitely have to be steep and very well oiled because at this point, wingmen are going to have to do a lot of work to make that happen. Cross is good from start. He does take a little bit of damage. And no one quite dies until turn. To say about it. Second one as well.
Spike
That's
down
Pip.
A.
Gets taken out. All right. 1 for 1, or excuse me, 1 for 2. Advantage Royals. And even extended by waves. All right, yep, Lou's going to go walking again. I don't think there's been a round in the second half where he hasn't gone walking down mid. Every time. He does not care. This time with the Sheriff, he's going to go down. It's still a 2-on-3.
One enemy
Man
remaining.
advantage. Once again
Spike
by
down
waves.
mid.
He did it on 8. Does it in mid. 1 versus 3 for James. Has an ult, has a gun, but so do all 3 enemy team members. Rifles in hand. Not everyone with armor, so it's definitely doable if James can end up landing these shots, but he has no idea the turns is even close to here.
He is done.
Knife out around the corner. Never gonna win a fight like that. 10 rounds, Royals.
You know, I try to do that a few times in my death matches. I gotta tell you, eventually you do win one of them, but it won't be that round.
If you have second chances, it definitely helps a lot when you respawn in a deathmatch.
Yeah.
And Royals with an off. I mean, you don't really have to. Like they're doing fine, but Lou just kind of throwing salt in the wound. It's not even Pip. It's not even the Jet with the op. It's the Omen. Like, yeah, fine. We've seen this before, but like,
Revealing area.
at this point, he's just showing off. He wants some more numbers. He doesn't have the exact number of kills that he had in the previous round. It's Pip just stealing them all because it's like exactly what he's doing here. He's
Oh
just
my goodness.
raising through the entire enemy team.
Remaining.
And he goes for some more, wants all 5, and he's gonna get it. No HP for James, and ace for Pip. That's 11 up for Royals.
That's a backbreaker right there. The best player on on the opposing team just runs you down. He's on pace to get 30 right now, already lapping the next closest person. That's Killa with her 17 kills. And man, it's starting to get bleak. And once again, Pip finding some confidence and having no reason to think otherwise.
Man, I don't even know what to say at this point. Kilo is one of the members alongside Erebus, and Starry and Bojangles in different maps yesterday to put up some numbers against the likes of Royals. But it is just so difficult when you have someone like Pip sitting at the top of the scoreboard with 27 frags, while the next closest sitting at 11. They're getting on the sights. One
Spike
player down.
planted.
Waves is that member. But Pip is still alive. FZL falls. Turns also goes 1 for 1 towards the flank. The last one alive is the raid boss. 1 on 4. He's done it before. He literally did it in the last round. He was the only player that was defending short. Got all 5 kills. But this time, advantage attackers. Flash ready. So as soon as he steps a little bit too far out, that flash is going to go up, but it doesn't matter. They're just going to call a 3-2-1 swing. Starry is the one to close out that kill. And Wingmen have a little bit of life in them.
Get on the wingman to remember that Pip is merely mortal. Maybe he might be immortal rank, but you know, still defeatable.
You can only shoot one man at any given time, thank goodness.
You know, Pip has started to make me think that maybe that's not the truth. He's that's many times he hit that spray transfer, he might just be able to get 2 at once.
He's gotten a lot of collats too, I gotta admit.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh my goodness.
No! 2! I thought that was 3! Oh no, it's Waves' turn. It's Waves' turn. If I was Fizzle, listen, brother, you let your friend have it. Just don't even... Just bait. Okay, yeah, he's baiting. He is actually baiting. He's actually baiting, and he's got it. He's got it. Waves now, just handing them off one at a time. First is Pip, now it's Waves. Next is gonna be Turns, and then Fizzle, and then Lou, one at a time. Taking all 5 kills. There's not even room for it unless they let Wingman plant and lose. But it is match point. It is series point for the Royals. 1 round away from taking the championship under their belt once again. And Pip up at 27, Waves up at 15. With a Tour de Force in hand and a rifle in his back pocket. They're looking to end it right now. Blade Storm for the Jets. Hunter's Fury for the Sova. They have everything they need
Get out of my way.
to go for this victory. And it looks like it's going to be towards the A site from the entire team of Wingmen. Killa's going to start it off. Looking quite nice. Turns has a response, but Bojangles also once more onto the Sova. And Pip also getting dinked down to about half HP. Would have liked to see a little bit more damage from the side of the Wingman.
Face your fear.
There is an ult and a blade heading towards Waves' face. Perhaps another chance for the Wingmen, but still remember Pips is alive. He is a teammate this time. A little bit easier of a clutch than that 1 versus 4 in the previous round. But 4 bullets left in the chamber. What's he gonna do here?
Oh
Maybe not for
my,
a
is he
reload.
trying to
Completely
break it?
confident. Okay.
No. He classic is sick. It's like there's no way.
I mean, the time is ticking. There's a paranoia. Okay, it should be done.
Standing.
That should be enough time. Starry's got that frag too. And a kill would be consolation at this point for Pip. But even he needs to show a little bit of respect. Only holds the angle. Knows he can potentially take a weapon off of Wingman's hands if they stay a little bit too long. But everyone's going to run. And Pip, is he going to say? Yeah, okay. Keeps that Vandal over to the next round. And they're going to need it. Lou is not able to buy. Everyone else is going to be quite healthy in terms of the economy. But Wingmen, they're the ones that are very happy that they're saving all these guns.
Yes, absolutely. And they were able to get 4 of them in the process. Most of those guys were going to be very poor. I guess it wouldn't have mattered too much if they lost the round, so can't save for next year. But, man, this Royals team, in 1 year, still the exact same team, still dominating. I wonder when, what sort of farm system these kids got? Like, they've got to graduate eventually, right?
The crazy part is, remember, this is a high school tournament. These are all high schoolers that are just that have accumulated a team that is this strong. Like,
Actually.
why can't I have that?
I mean, I hear your esports career, you peak at like 18, so
Spike
these
down
guys are in their
A.
prime right
Hold
now.
on, wait a minute. This could be over. This could be this. It is. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
We apologize. Sorry about that. That just ended. All right. It looks like we need Lin-Manuel Miranda for the soundtrack of our life, because apparently Hamilton is all that's the rage right now. That is 2 maps in a very swift fashion. That last round ended in an absolute breeze, 13-8. A little bit more of a fight on that second map, but oh my God, HSC Royals, Hamilton Southeastern are your 2026 Valorant EGFC, or excuse me, EGFH champions. What a showing from this entire team.
Yeah, and Anson, I'm just happy to be in the room where it happened. Like
Mm-hmm.
this Hamilton South, these Royals just came in and dominated. They with the confidence of what you can only imagine is a former champion just coming back in to retake their spot on the throne. They had no issues just running through this wingman squad, and it was a textbook showing of how to play Haven, textbook showing of aggression, just beautiful all around, and another championship under the belts for those Royals.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say at this point. It's just so I'm not gonna say the second map was domination. The second map I think was a lot closer. Like 13-8 is pretty decent for a score line. But for some of those rounds, it's just like on Ascent. It's just like when we got to the tail end of Ascent and Pip just started being sick of it and started running into his opponents. But this time it wasn't even Pip, it was Waves that ended up getting an ace as well. 17-8 in the chamber. Very, very nice performance from this guy over towards the second half of this Haven map. But yeah, it was kind of just everyone chiming in from their entire team. And I gotta say the same for Wingman as well. I think their squad, like we have seen, especially earlier today during their first best of three as well, they showed that they can really every single person can play extremely well. It's just in this one, it's a bit tough. Like it has to be the high skilled individually players to be able to match the people on the enemy team. And Killa and Starry tried to do that. They got pretty darn close. I think Killa replicated kind of her success in the previous day as well, where they didn't even come close to this kind of scoreline on Ascent or Lotus, which they played earlier. Um, I think they won just as many rounds plus one yesterday as a whole as they took on Ascent. So that's an upgrade. That's a good showing for them, good learning experience that they had yesterday. But unfortunately, this is the grand finals, so there is no extra time in the season. The only thing we can hope for is the fact that this roster stays together for yet another one. But yeah, like you said, I don't know when these players graduate. This is the thing about Scholastic Collegiate is that players come, players leave, based on how the classes go, how the seasons go. So we'll just have to see what we can see from these two teams later on in the year if they come back for yet another season. But yeah, the Royals are just indomitable. 13-8. If I can remind myself of the first scoreline as well, I think even worse than that, 13-3. So 11 rounds in total for the Wingmen, not even enough to win a single map. Royals take that by storm, 2-0.
Yeah. Actually, no, it's 13-6, so they would have been that would have been more
Was it
than enough
13? Oh yeah, it's my other
yeah,
screenshot. Okay, okay, okay. It's not
they would
that
have been able to take one map. They could have forced one, but
bad.
unfortunately, you can't combine both of those maps together. So we'll
Mm.
we'll see what it seems like it was the same result regardless.
I think as well, we might have a privilege to get to talk to one of the members of the winning team on Hamilton Southeastern. So to get that set up, we will get this player into the voice chat in just a bit. But while we do that, we're going to send you guys off into a quick break. We know you guys probably want a breather after a heck of a map like that one and a heck of a series against Royals versus Wingmen. But it is, once again, Hamilton Southeastern to take that grand finals 2-0. So congratulations to them. We'll get to speak with one of the members from their team right after this short break. Six maps won for the team in the grand finals right now. HSC Royals come out 6-0, not dropping a single one in their journey through this LAN. So we're joined here by Turns, one of the members of that winning team. once again, congratulations, Turns. And first of all, I guess we're going to get through the formalities. How does it feel to be taking this grand finals in such a convincing fashion?
I'm really happy with the progress we made. We were here last year as well, and I'm really happy to be taking home a national title and taking home a trophy hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way you guys got there, just dominating every team on the way towards another victory. What is it like to? What was the preparation that you got that went into making sure that you guys were not only good enough to win, but so good that you didn't drop a map?
Uh, I'd say we all just really enjoy playing the game. So we all, even if we're not playing as a team, we're all solo queuing or queuing with other people, and as long as we just consistently play, we're able to keep up that high level performance.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That's kind of the name of the game, right? Practice makes better. So I can tell you guys put in a lot of practice, but I guess alongside that as well, I like to ask this question to a lot of the Scholastic collegiate teams that I have interacted with or a caster or something like that. But for you guys, for HSC, what is the support system like behind you guys? Like, is there like coaches? Is there like coach? I just said coaches twice. I was thinking like more like performance coach versus like tactical coach, stuff like that. Like, how much of that is there around you?
Pretty much, as far as the school goes, we just have the one head coach, Mr. Squires. Thank him a lot.
Oh, we're losing you a
He
little bit,
Uh,
turns.
organizes everything.
hold on, we might. I apologize for interrupting you, but I think the noise suppression might be kicking in again, very, very strongly. I heard nothing what you just said. That past sentence.
Might just be this microphone. Can you hear now? It's good.
Yes, it's a lot better.
As far as support system goes, I'd say it's just the one head coach, Mr. Squires. Thank him a lot. He manages everything, runs everything. And then as far as other coaches go, we have some outsiders that aren't from the school that help coach us occasionally. But for the most part, it's all just done within our teams.
I think that's really impressive, honestly. I mean, just having one guy. I think this definitely some schools out there with a lot more of a system, but I I really respect any staff member that is able to put in the time or is willing to put in the time to help out teams like this play at such a high level, and everything around that as well is super cool. So shout out to him again. I apologize. I didn't entirely hear his name because of the microphone again, but it is what it is. Give him a shout out for me whenever you're able to. But for sure, was like I feel bad saying it's a domination because we want to be nice to like all the teams over here, but you guys played so well. I guess I just wanted to get a sense of the vibes going in the team, like towards the end of these couple maps, because obviously we saw at the end of Ascent where Pip just literally like you guys were all playing slow outside A main. Two people were like walking, and then Pip was just like full like W key forward as soon as he sees a guy one tap, as soon as he sees another guy second one tap, and then at the end of Haven does the same thing, but on defense, walks up a short, gets an ace, and then a couple rounds later, your teammate Waves also gets an ace. So like, was there like strategy going into the later halves of these maps, or was it just you guys were so confident at that point that you're just having fun with the game?
Yeah, I'd say we just gained a lot of confidence, kind of just rode that high and just swung everything and won.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
mean,
that is how it works, right, Mom?
I mean, when you got one of those days when you're just shooting like that, like you might as well just swing everything. And if you're wrong, then you know you tip your cap. But so many times you guys weren't wrong, right, in that set at all. So I mean, I know that you guys are. We talked about it a little bit off screen, but you guys moving forward, I heard that there were going to be a few graduating. So how do you guys see the restructuring of this team moving forward?
I'd say a lot of this team is it's going to be entirely different next year. I myself am going to be graduating along with Pitt and Waves.
Congratulations.
Lou is going to be moving transitioning to a different game, so you might see him. I think he's going to be playing Marvel Rivals, but he's probably not going to be playing Valorant again next year. And then the only remaining member will be Fizzle. So
Nice.
hopefully you'll see
Well,
him next year.
honestly, a shame to see you guys lose your Omen to Marvel Rivals of all games. But I I can't hate too much.
That's what he claims anyway. We'll see what happens next year.
Mm.
It's always changing.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I swear, like half my friends are like switching between Valorant and Marvel Rivals. I have like an admin for another tournament I'm doing this weekend or like next weekend that is like addicted to Rivals. It's absolutely crazy. I'm like, I wish I could play that game, but my computer is from 2017, so it doesn't run that well. But maybe one day. But yeah, respect to Lou. I hope whatever he decides to do, he does it well. And for the rest of you guys, just like Mob said, congratulations on graduating this year. It's a big step forward, and I wish you all luck as well in whatever endeavors you guys are doing. What with that said, I don't really know what else I got. Mob, do you have anything for them to close it out?
Just one more. I know that
Okay.
because you guys are still like super young high schoolers. I guess in as far as gamers go, you're like now entering your prime. But just like being the high level gamers that you guys are, how is this how's this opportunity just helped you guys further your education?
Um, for me and Pip especially, we actually got offers from a lot of colleges to go play Valorant for those colleges. So we're
Nice.
both going to Manchester University next year, and we're gonna play for their team and also get a degree while we're there.
Absolutely,
Wow,
it's amazing.
my gosh, I
Yeah,
am.
I can't do that off my plat elo, man.
Mob, I don't know how old you are, but back in my day, we did not have that kind of thing. Like there was no esports scholarship. I am like unbelievably jealous. I'm not gonna say I would have made it, but I would have at least tried. That would have been super cool. But yeah, congratulations to you and Pip. That is absolutely awesome to hear about. And I guess yeah, without further ado, look, we know you're probably feeling a high right now. You want to go celebrate with the rest of your team. So before we let you go, is there anything else you want to say to absolutely anyone that might be in the arena or watching at home because we are streaming on Twitch? Um, thank anyone or whatever. You have the mic. The floor is yours.
You mentioned earlier my teacher. I would really like to thank Mr. Squires a lot. He's helped us out with everything. Our esports organization wasn't even going to be a thing this year if it wasn't for him making the exception just for our team. So a lot of thanks goes out to him and all the opportunities he provides. And then I'd just like to thank my family as well while I'm here. Everyone watching from home, everyone supporting me. Thank you a lot.
That's super cool. Mr. Squires, I heard his name this time. Thank you so much to Mr. Squires and everyone else, all the other faculty that supports the players that play in our events or in any other events for Scholastic Collegiate. They're around the country. There's a lot of them, but this one specifically is the one that we're closing out right now. So four turns. Once more, we're gonna let you go celebrate with the rest of your team, whatever you want to do. Go out to eat or whatever. I don't know what the traditions are for the Royals, but Hamilton Southeastern is the team that is going to be taking this championship by storm. 6 maps to absolute nothing. Turns, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right, that was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I can't speak of the number of times because I've been casting EGF a lot for a couple years now, probably like three or so years. And every single year, I get more and more envious of the things that these kids can do. Not only of their skill, I think skill can come with time, right? You just put in the practice, you put in the
Yeah.
hours. Like anyone can get to a certain level if they really believe in themselves and they put in the work. But we just didn't have scholarships back then. I'm so
Like an
jealous.
esports
Dude.
scholarship, like this dude's about to go. He's about to go frag out on a Wednesday afternoon, and it's not gonna be a distraction from his classes. It's gonna be a part of his curriculum. Like actually insane. Actually insane.
It's not fair, man. I'm just saying.
Hey, you fight for a better world for the younger ones. That's why we're
Mhm.
here.
This is true, and we've come a long way over the course of the last like I don't know 5 to 10 years. It's been
Mhm.
a heck of a ride, but I hope at least that we're going to be here for a lot longer. So for all of us here at EGF, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us here during the LAN. Unfortunately, we're at home. I'm not in San Antonio, but for everyone that is in San Antonio, we hope you enjoy the rest of the event. I'm not entirely sure if we're the last games or something like that, but I heard there's a lot of like picture taking and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So enjoy the rest of your day. For everyone at home, thank you for watching. And from me and Mob, we're signing off until next time. We had Apcon behind the scenes running the cameras as well as the production. So thank you very much to him for making all this stuff work on the stream and on the broadcast. And yeah, that should be just about it for us until next season. So for EGF 2026, EGFH 2026, that'll be about it. So everyone, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.